are aroused. I haven't seen people so aroused in a very, very long time.
Do not come. Do not come. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Punch Up Pod with Lila and Pat, our Sunday night shit show. How are you, Pat?
I am good. I as you know, I just got back from doing a side job. So this is my my screen's getting weird too. What is going on here? That's scary. Yeah, so I just came from a side job and I'm happy to be here to complain.
I'm happy to have you here to complain too. We ended up we thought we were going to take off the whole week and we ended up only taking off Thursday. So I am so excited to be here tonight with all of you. But it is late here. It's so weird to start at 8 o'clock because I'm on the East Coast now with my mom. Which means I didn't start drinking until like a minute ago, which is crazy.
We'll catch up. My back's in a little pain from the job as I was whining to you before the show. So I need to medicate.
It sounds like maybe you've already been meditating. But...
And meditate. We'll do a little, yeah.
All right. Well, good. Well, welcome everybody. Please do make sure to like and subscribe and smash that notification bell. And yes, and actually, Zainab, I'm close to you right now. I'm in Cincinnati. We could have met for drinks.
Why aren't you out drinking?
I know, crazy. Hello, David. Good to see you, and thank you for saying that. We appreciate that. And yeah, medicate with social lubricant. There's not a ton. My computer is running so slowly here, so I'm gonna try. We're trying to get to everybody and say hi, but it's a little crazy here. Sorry, just hoping I don't completely black out the way I did the other night, where I couldn't even get any video on here at all. Hello, Hope, Aurora, hello. We've got Hogel, hi. And Kimmy, I saw here. Hello, Kimiko. Truth. It's so good to see everybody. It's fun to be able to connect. And if I missed somebody, I am so sorry. Did I miss somebody? Truth. No, I think we got everybody. Hogel. Yes. I don't know. Pat, help me out here. Len. There's Len.
You're so good at the normal, the
shout out.
I'm just like, hey, let's start the show.
How you doing, folks? I know.
Let's think. Lila, how was your day? I didn't even ask. I don't.
Lee, hello. I hope I didn't miss anything. Okay. It was good. I'm with my mom for her birthday. My aunt and my cousin were in town. My brother was in town. Everybody left today. I leave tomorrow. And yeah, we're gonna get to a lot of this because oh my god,
a lot of Platner today.
A lot of stuff. Yeah. And my mom is on the opposite schedule for me. She is up all night and sleeps all day. So it felt like what better way to spend my time than prepping for this show, which I'm thrilled to do and to be here. There was a lot to catch up on, including a lot of war stuff that we're not really getting into. Cape Socialist, hello. It's actually terrifying. And I feel so manipulated by everything that I really don't know what to believe, right? Israel strikes Beirut. Iran retaliates. Of course, most of Western media says Iran striking northern Israel, leaving out the fact that Israel's been breaking the ceasefire all along. And then we hear that there was a phone call. If you can trust Axios and Barak Ravid, there was a phone call today, and Trump said, "You all go ahead and do what you want to Netanyahu, but you will be doing it without our help," which isn't exactly the line that he could be drawing. But it also I don't believe anything I hear from anybody. And are they manipulating Iran into thinking? But I think Iran's going to retaliate anyway because Israel broke the ceasefire. So I don't know, but it's just horrific that people are talking about it in this glib way.
Yeah, I think all that is just posturing because Trump's in the shitter with the public and he's losing it. So it's just like, oh, Biden used some swear words to Netanyahu. Did that change anything? Did anything change when Biden swore allegedly at Netanyahu? No. So that's what this is to me.
Yeah, like
At
if
this
he
point.
didn't want this to happen, if he actually thinks that he's close to a deal, which is it's what they're pushing through the White House and their source, then you say we're not going to help you refuel. Like we are truly not just, oh, go do what you want, we're not supporting you, but like truly, you will get nothing from us. You are endangering the whole Middle East and this deal. So if you're serious about it, you use your leverage, and of course, you know, we never do.
Right. And look, even if and when a deal is made, it's not like we should applaud Trump for it. You know, like the U.S. is going to be in a worse position after this than before we started this. So, you know,
none of it's good. None of it's good. All right, let's get to one little good thing, one cheers, which is sort of like a half and half, but we are always so grateful when anybody uses her voice. This is valedictorian Leen Hijaz at her graduation speech, being silenced by the administration.
We're not given a voice to stay silent and to just
This 17-year-old teenager from Clayton, North Carolina says her welcome speech to graduates was cut off by a school administrator after she made these remarks.
I have one last thing to say. Every single person here has a voice, and we are privileged to have the freedom to use it when so many people around the world are struggling and they're suffering to be heard. Whether it's the millions suffering in Palestine, Sudan, Congo, Afghanistan, and so many other countries around the world, these are the families being torn apart by ICE. These are not distant issues. They are happening right now as I speak.
She came up to me and she's like, if you don't stop speaking right now, you're not graduating.
That's what Leen Hijaz says the administrator said to her in this moment when she cut off Hijaz's speech. And because of those remarks, unlike the rest of her fellow graduates who picked up their diplomas after the ceremony, Hijaz says she was told,
"You're getting your diploma withheld."
A Johnston County Public Schools spokesperson tells CNN that Hijaz was, quote, awarded her diploma and that her speech was cut off because, quote, school administrators intervened in order to maintain the integrity and focus of the program in real time. This action was not about limiting a student's voice, but about ensuring that a school-sponsored event remained consistent with its intended purpose. JCPS respects students' rights to express their views and encourages thoughtful dialogue in appropriate settings. The district also said the content of graduation speeches is approved by staff ahead of the event. Hijaz says she did not submit her unscripted remarks for approval and that she received her diploma 4 days after graduation. Hijaz says her family and friends have supported her throughout because
my sole purpose of saying everything was to advocate for people.
I mean, what are you teaching your kids? You silence them from speaking out against a genocide. It's just the most insane thing. But yes, the kids are all right. And yeah.
Oh, and it's not about silencing her voice. She just didn't tell us exactly what she was going to say, and we have to approve the voice.
Yeah.
So
there are rules and protocols.
You know damn right if she submitted that, they wouldn't have let her speak.
Of course.
What does that say about your educational system that you don't trust your valedictorian to not offend people? I mean,
yeah. And your values. It's speaking out
if
against
they're offended.
Yeah.
If they're offended, they're offended. But you teach free speech, and you want these children and the future of our country to be, you know, free thinkers. And like, it's just embarrassing.
It's horrific. Because I mean, I will say, like, you know, if she had been speaking up for genocide, I wouldn't love it. But when you're speaking up about human values and human rights and human dignity and liberation, that's like everything that America is supposed to stand for, right? But they would have allowed her to say, I'm Yisrael Chai, right? That would have been fine, I bet. Solidarity with our great friend in the Middle East. I'm so disgusted by it. And then
it reminds me of when Stephen Miller was a kid and you've got him speaking at his high school and saying all that fucking terribly racist shit out in the open.
Yeah. And he goes on to be part of, 2 administrations. It's so gross. I'm glad that she did get her diploma, but like it's happening at high schools, it's happening at colleges. I hope that we all make it out of this alive and can look back on this time and truly shame all the people who didn't get the wall, because I hope way worse happens than just the shame. But yes.
Well, and we can't ask all these high school valedictorians necessarily to go out and risk their whole future like this young girl's doing.
Yeah.
But established people that have a voice and a medium and a microphone that don't use it, that are grown-ass adults, you are the Nazi collaborators, even if you don't know it.
I guess they don't know it. It really, it really does feel a lot like occupation every which way. And then I saw Josie comment, and she's totally right. And I forgot to mention that the first thing that Israel did was close the Rafah crossing and prohibit any aid from getting in to Palestinians in Gaza, which, by the way, like, so little was getting in anyway. But of course, that's the pawn. They're always the first ones punished. They're just such an evil machine. Everybody should be speaking out against them. And the fact that anybody's punished for doing that is insane. And ICE and all of everything that she was speaking out. And by the way, if she hadn't said Palestinians, if she had just said Congo, Sudan, probably even ICE, it would have been fine. I bet. It's just Palestine. It's just
Oh, that's not a genocide, but the first thing that always happens is we cut off the food.
Yeah.
It's not a genocide though, but food is first.
Food's first, electricity, infrastructure. They killed another fisherman yesterday, this morning. I mean, God, nothing happens to them. Not a single consequence for their actions. That said, I do think this is the end of the Israel project, but it's just going to take a lot of people with it as it goes down. Yeah.
It's over. It's just, will it be over in a year or 10?
Right. Yeah. And a lot of people are going to suffer. I mean, it's just so appalling every which way. Okay. I know what you're hoping for right here. A little joy. I'm sorry. Everything is moving so slowly. The internet connection here is a little sub.
I'm actually hoping for a reason to drink. So.
You don't have to wait for a reason to drink. Honestly, at this point, I almost feel like we just take it off the wheel and just like never let it dry.
Exactly. I'm drinking all show. What do we land on there? Lols.
Where's our lols?
Let's go with Wealthy Libs, Sam Froome.
I love watching your TikTok, which is next level. And clearly that's expressed by my 13-year-old son.
No, God, please, no, 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 no.
I grew up in a liberal town that's also very affluent. And that's where my views were shaped. And it's kind of a strange combination of factors, because it gave me a lot of class resentment towards people who are not that much wealthier than my family. I'm like, those bastards in the 1%. They have no idea what life is like down here in the 2%. Never worked a day in their lives. I got a job when I was 14 for my dad's law firm. People say eat the rich. I'm like, how about we nibble? Can we nibble? It still bothers me to admit that I have all this privilege, though, because it's like, it doesn't give me a good story. Like, if I succeed, it'll be despite no adversity. No one is making a movie about my journey. Coming this summer, the incredible story of a suburban white boy who followed the odds.
I like it.
I can relate.
Class
I can relate to that so hard, because like the fact that I'm living in this little socialist apartment is a choice.
Right. Well,
like the path in front of me was the easiest on earth to succeed and be okay in life. Not as easy as someone rich, because my parents weren't rich.
Right. But but like the privilege we have compared to the rest of the world.
Yes. Sure. I mean, I'm privileged enough to be able to do this podcast 3 days a week.
Yeah.
You know, like
we're not like
a lot of people would have to use that time to work a second job.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But yeah, then he sounds young. I don't know how old he is, but I do like the class consciousness of this younger generation. Good to have. And also class traitor. It's good to be a class traitor if we're, you're privileged, we're privileged. So that's good, right? Thanks.
Absolutely. And I love in the stand-up world, the only way you get away with right-leaning stand-up comedy is if you're at a racist right-wing event where everybody goes there for the racist right-wing comedy. But you do an open mic almost anywhere now with some right-wing shit and you're cooked. They hate you.
They hate you. Yeah. It's excellent. It's actually excellent. I mean, so many people are suffering. So there's nothing funny about reveling in your suffering. I mean, I think that's why Bill Maher is such a great example of somebody who was really outspoken and politically incorrect and whatever, 6 years ago, sort of, he was. And but now he's just embraced all of his privilege. There's nothing funny about punching down. Like, it's just not funny.
I mean, the guy had Spencer Pratt on last week, Spencer Pratt, the rich little brat running for mayor of LA.
Did you watch it? Like, was he fawning over him? Did he give him any tough questions?
It was such a mix because he's basically saying, yeah, you're right on all the homeless stuff, but you got to focus on these other issues too. What do you think about them?
Right.
And Pratt would always just fire back, no, I don't care. We got people to do that. My thing is homelessness. And he's like, well, I agree with you on all of that, basically.
Yeah. Kudos. Yeah. I wonder what other celebrities will line up behind Spencer Pratt. Gross.
I'm not sure he's going to make it. I mean,
honestly, I think, I was feeling, so I did not vote for Nithya Raman. I think I told you, because, she kind of hedged on,
she's not great.
Cops and on Israel, and Hassan Piker tried to save her. She wouldn't even take the rope he was offering. And I was like, I am not going to reward that on any level. So Reverend Ray was my choice, who's, I think much more of like a true lefty. But then I did start getting a little nervous that, like, man, are we really going to be getting Spencer Pratt? So whatever. Maybe this will force Nithya to move further left in her speech, and then she'll just tack right if she ends up,
Well, I mean, ultimately, I think it's probably good to have. Look, I don't want Bass to win.
No,
you live in LA, it affects you more directly, but I would take her over Bass all day.
Yeah, exactly.
She has to contrast herself with Bass.
Well, that's what I'm hoping. Yeah.
She's probably tacking left, like, I think.
Yeah. I mean, she should, but she'll say, probably she would think, the reason I actually got into the runoff was I had to appeal to those Spencer Pratt, Karen Bass voters, just like Kamala.
Yeah. And she can be just, pro-Israel now.
Yeah.
Openly instead of sort of walking the line, because they're both pro-Israel. So you could just there's no winning in electoral politics. That's the lesson here.
Truly, it sucks. So let's get to the subject of the title of our show. They are trying so hard to destroy Graham Platner, and he's doing a great job of aiding them in this endeavor. And we've talked about this so many times. I don't think either one of us is an enormous fan of his, at least certainly not like his, whatever we know about him personally or his military expeditions, right? So but the more the worst people in the world fight against him and try to bring him down, the more I feel like, is that a sign that maybe he is genuine in his socialist views? Would he actually be, a difficult person to have in Congress if he gets there for the people in power? Oh, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. That was my fault. That part I don't know. I know that, look, when the establishment fights you as hard as they're fighting him, you're not working with him now. So he's an outsider now.
Right.
Does he remain an outsider when he goes back to work and then he shows up at the office, just like at a business? If you fought your business a job in management, now every day you're in the same room with management. Are you still the working class guy who got promoted somehow magically, or do you become one of them?
Exactly. Okay. Hey guys, is it my problem or Pat's? You sound like you're underwater, but it might be my setup here. Does anybody?
I don't know. The audio.
Oh, now you sound good.
Weird.
Now you sound good. Okay. Now you're not talking at all. I mean, now you're muted. You're muted. Everybody, okay, you're coming back? Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to get us into this article so we know what we're talking about while you figure out the stuff. Okay. So this is the craziest headline ever. And when I say I'm going to get us started, please bear with me. I am sorry. This is really bad internet over here. I am really sorry, but it just is. Okay.
Testing.
So yes, I hear you. Wonderful. Okay. Graham Platner was an a-hole extraordinaire as DC bartender. Troubled and dark. So first of all, like, give me a fucking break. What do you want, Karen? Like, everybody. Len thought maybe you were going to get another beer.
Always a choice.
Yeah. Like, have you ever been in the service industry? Yeah. We hate serving you. Most of the people who come in are fucking assholes who don't tip well, who are rude, who need everything. They need 20 things in a row. And if you don't give it to them, like, I wanted to off myself, honestly, for 10 years in a row. I hated it. I hated being in the service industry. People were so awful to me.
And I also, I dealt cards in a casino at Harris Tahoe. And at one point I hated my job so much and hated a lot of people by default. So I get that part of it.
Yeah.
I get that part of it. But that's when you have to leave your job, whatever, usually.
Right.
But the point to me is like, okay, if 99% of his customers love the dude,
right,
you could still find 1% that are going to go, that guy is my bartender was a dick. Like, is this a story? Is this a story?
Like, is this disqualified? Right. There are other things I think could be disqualifying. Being a jerky bartender is not. But so to go on into this, allegedly abusive lefty Maine Senate hopeful Graham Platner wasn't just rough on his ex-girlfriends and sexting behind his wife's back. He was also an a-hole extraordinaire as a bartender. I mean, New York Post really missed the scoop because, like, if you're coming in after the cheating and the sexting and the possibly being like physically abusive to the girlfriend and then being like, you know, he wasn't really nice as a bartender, you've been scooped, New York Post. But anyway, Platner, who faced a firestorm this week as he tries to unseat longtime Republican Senator Susan Collins and help the Democrats win the Senate majority, was a deeply unpleasant barkeep at Washington, D.C.'s Tune In one regular claim. Platner was just kind of dark. You try to turn up a little conversation, he wouldn't give anything back. No smile, no acknowledgement, just nothing coming back that was friendly and warm, said Wayne Logson, an independent journalist and strategic communications and policy consultant. It was in those years that Platner's heavy drinking led to a DUI arrest and 2011 conviction that saw his driving license suspended for a year. He just sort of resented being there, said Logson. Logson wants you to enjoy serving him. A former editorial page editor for the Denver Gazette and the Colorado Springs Gazette. If you asked him for a beer or cheeseburger, it was a bother to him. He just sort of rubbed me the wrong way. Logson, who at the time lived 3 blocks from the Tune In, said Platner was so disagreeable that he and his wife eventually took their business to the Hawk and Dove next door whenever they saw Platner behind the bar. I mean, you got to hand it to the New York Post. That's some heavy-hitting journalism.
I mean, and the only people they can find to talk about this looks like a Democratic consultant. They almost put up his name as a Democratic consultant kind of guy.
Yeah.
And the local paper editor guy who's doing a free ad for the other business in town. And they're like, yeah, you try to spark up a conversation. He wasn't that charming, or that's not even bad. My dude, you're
smile. I'd like to see.
Did he give you your beer? He didn't stick his dick in your hamburger, did he? So I mean, what do you got on this guy that's worth an article and a hit piece? That today, this morning, I turned on CNN. First 20 minutes is a panel talking about Graham Platner being disqualifying. I'm like,
were they talking about this story, or were they talking about the other stuff we're about to get to?
All of it, but none of them had anything. It was just vague. Like, how is he doing? How are people reacting? They didn't talk about the issues behind the stories at all. They never addressed it. And let's talk about what happened. They just want it floating around out there as this mysterious sexual deviance, that stuff. Like, it's just vague because they don't have enough substance to make a story last for 20 minutes. They would look silly if they got to the actual nuts of what the story is.
Exactly. And the nuts of the story for them are he is anti-genocide and pro-economic socialism. Like, that's what they hate about him. Because all the other stuff they're fine with. Like every other thing we're about to get to, these are people who support a genocide. They support people who talk about, Amalek and destroying all of Gaza. They're fine with all of the behavior. They have no problem with any of it. So that's it. Yeah. Those are the two things.
Those two things. And when they talk about him and why he's successful, they just say everyday man populist, but they never get to the policies that make him successful. They will not address the actual things that he's saying that make him successful.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, it is crazy. So, okay. So I'm sorry, because it's moving so slowly and I don't know why I have two more things here. Okay. So this we're going to get to, I think, anyway, sorry. This is more of the New York Post. They're going to go into all these other things. Oh, okay. So here's another thing. The embattled Platner, who's made a slew of racist comments in since deleted online posts, also once trashed Black people for not tipping, responding to a 2013 Reddit post titled, "What is one question you've always wanted to ask someone of another race?" He asked, "Why don't Black people tip? I work as a bartender and always amazes me how solid the stereotype is," he wrote. "Every now and again, a Black patron will leave a 15 to 20% tip, but usually it's between 0 and 5%. There's got to be a reason behind it. What is it?" he wrote, according to the Bangor Daily News. Okay. So by the way, all of these people supported Joe Biden. So I'm not excusing that conversation or that question or why write things. Like, you don't need to write everything that ever occurs to your brain on the internet for the whole world to see. Like, all of that, I understand. Like, yeah, criticize it. But these people supported Joe Biden, Crime Bill Joe, who wanted to lock Black and brown people up for their lives for, a dime bag, right? Who eulogized Strom Thurmond, who wanted to prevent busing, like an out and out racist. So
yeah, and that wasn't disqualifying. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, I'm not defending anything. I don't like that part right there that he said.
Yeah, agree.
But I don't even want to get into it. But look, some stereotypes exist in some way. There's some truth to it, and it's part cultural, it's part economic. Like, it's a nuanced discussion about why some groups at whole tend to tip differently.
Right.
I mean, I'm just thinking about the casinos. Like, in some cultures, and I dealt a lot of the Asian games, like the mahjong, or not mahjong, the pai gow tiles,
you're
and things.
Trying
things
really
like
hard to get yourself canceled right now.
I am.
But
culturally, like cheating, for example, was looked at differently in their culture. It's like, haha, it's good that you got away with cheating against the casino.
All you, Pat. It's all you.
But I'm just saying, there's some stuff that if you dig deeper to why it exists, there's something to it. But anyway, this guy wasn't running for office. I don't like what he said. It's not couth. I don't agree with it. But he was just a bartender then.
Yeah, exactly. And to pretend that any of these people actually cares about any of this stuff is ridiculous. Okay, here, the other thing, though, that has a little more weight to it until you sort of start digging under the, behind the first page, is this New York Times article. Several women who dated Graham Platner recall unsettling behavior. The Democratic candidate for Senate in Maine could be charming, women said in interviews, but some found his actions intimidating and disturbing. These two, Kathy Gluck, whatever, and Lisa Lehrer they both definitely tack right or at least more corporate, like they are clearly never going to be on the side of a democratic socialist. But what they did in this article was they went to some of his past girlfriends and told them that other women were going to be coming forward. And basically, it sounds as though they got one woman in particular to come forward with some things that she had already been sharing in group chats that people had alerted, or maybe she was the one who had alerted them, but now she felt comfortable having her name put out there. And she had dated Platner. Her name is Lindsay Fifield, whatever. Mr. Platner could be rough with her, Ms. Fifield said, particularly when they were drinking, leaving her shaken and sometimes afraid. In the interviews, Ms. Fifield grappled with how to process her experiences. She was quick to note that he never hit me, he never punched me. But she said he regularly grabbed her by her shoulders, sometimes hard enough to leave marks, and on one occasion yanked her out of the cab by her wrist after an argument when she wanted to stay in the car. During one argument, she recalled, he twisted her arm behind her back, shoved her into a bedroom, and held the door closed from the other side so she couldn't get out, telling her to remain there until she was calm. Eventually, Ms. Fifield said she fell asleep and left the next morning. It hurt, she said, but she added, it didn't cause any injury. It didn't break my arm. That would be the last time I ever saw Mr. Platner, if that happened to me, any of those things. But that's gross. Don't like any of that if it's true at all, right? If it's true.
No, let me tell you why that's okay, Lila.
Some women,
no. Look, what did she do though?
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. That's awful.
I could have this conversation with you off the air. No, I'm kidding.
That's the most disturbing thing I've heard from him. And I thought the same thing when I read that. I'm like, that's believable. I think that probably happened based on what we know. Like, I'm going to believe her in this situation. It sounds like something.
Yeah. I mean, I could believe her or not. I don't even know, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the caveat to me on it is when we're drinking. So that's like if you present to the court that we're both a bunch of drunk people fighting drunkenly, I mean, I'm not going to defend him on that at all, but maybe she was violent and he's like, get away from me in the closet. I don't know.
I mean, it sounded like they liked their drama in their relationship, right?
Yes.
Like they both were into the crazy drama of it, which, stopping my thing when I was 20 or 19 or whatever the hell, but everybody has a different trajectory. Okay.
Yes.
So let's just keep going. Oh God, it's so slow. And now by accident, I put up the wrong one. Okay, here we go. Sorry. This is okay. He had what she described as a warrior ethos and would fantasize about killing people he deemed a threat, she said. She said he told her that rape was about power. It was something that stuck with her through the years, Mrs. Field said. He said this a lot. If anybody ever broke in here, I would rape them, she recalled, saying that he added that it would not be in a sexual way, not in a gay way. He was like, I would rape them to show them that I'm dominant, she said. Asked about those remarks, a Platner campaign official did not dispute them. A friend who knew Mr. Platner and Miss Fifield during the period said the comment sounded out of character. Mr. Platner, who had overlapping relationships with other women while he and Miss Fifield dated, also referred to women as hatchet wounds, Ms. Fifield said, a crude term for female anatomy. I'm just going to go on to the last part of this article that we're sharing, just then we can have a conversation. It was not until I started hearing from reporters and DC insiders that I realized this tattoo resembled a Nazi symbol, Mr. Platner told Politico in a statement in October. I absolutely would not have gone through life having this on my chest if I knew that. And to insinuate that I did is disgusting. Ms. Fifield called that a lie. Ms. Platner, she said, knew when they were dating years ago that the tattoo was a Nazi symbol and that he called it my Totenkopf. I would never have known what that was, she said. I definitely don't believe her on that. But anyway, he would joke about it being a Nazi tattoo. Ms. Fifield said he told her that he and other members of his unit selected this tattoo because they were like a death unit. They were killers and saw a parallel between their unit and the Nazi SS, Schutzstaffel unit that used the skull and crossbones image. They literally, deliberately selected it because it was relevant to their military unit, she said. Mr. Platner strongly disputes Ms. Fifield's account of what he knew about the tattoo and what he told her, his campaign said.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I mean, the rape stuff is very
It's like every Israeli soldier that all these people
That's what I
love.
was gonna say. That the rape stuff sounds believable. Like I don't. That's a tough one to make up. Not that you couldn't do it, but
yeah, it's gross. But like, and again, I am not excusing him. I am not even like I hate all of this so much. I can't believe that out of 320 million people, there isn't somebody better. But the truth is, there are very few people who are signing up to be part of a political process. And I think, you know, the more people we send off to war who are going to be suffering moral injuries for being on the wrong side of every war the US fights, right?
Yeah.
Like we are truly sending people off to slaughter innocent people who are fighting for their liberation. That's what we're doing.
And that's, I kind of had that thought when they were going over his bar, like he's a mean bartender. It's like the guy came back from the war where he was doing atrocious things to the silliness of bar life, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and like, oh, your burger is so important. You know what I mean? Like it's just.
I think that's probably true. And also he had a problem with alcohol and rage and all the things that I think a lot of people who return from these horrific wars that are completely unjustifiable are struggling with that. And again, I think the fact that he gets up there and feels, you know, who knows what's going to happen. This might break him because this is pretty constant. And these are really ugly, right? Like that's a really ugly accusation. I think like anytime that you use your physical power over somebody else where you're like, I hate it. Like I would be out of there so fast. Like I cannot even imagine. And it's ugly. And will this discipline him? Will he still be the guy who comes up there and tells all of them that they're genocidal maniacs? And then they'll throw back in his face, well, you're the one with the SS tattoo. And you talked about rape as domination, which I mean, of course it is, but like that you would do it because of that, you know, like everything is gross.
Or he wins and then somebody gets some dark shit he really did and holds it over his head. I mean, I'm not saying that wasn't dark, but proof, you know, like definitive proof somehow that he's this evil scumbag.
Yeah. Okay.
The bar is low, as Zaina was saying. It's like, you know, we were asked to vote for a billionaire as governor of California. And we're like, the best guy is the billionaire. The Bernie guy's endorsement is the billionaire. Like this should all tell us
it's by design.
How little power we have in this system is what's on display this election.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so just so we know who Lindsay Fiffield is, and I'm so sorry because my internet is so slow, I can't scroll back and remind myself who said this. I think What Democracy, but yes. Okay, Inez Stepman and Lindsay Fiffield are two millennial women who co-founded the group Ladies for Kavanaugh to show their support for the nominee when they felt that view was being left out of the public discourse. Their day jobs are in conservative politics, Stepman at Independent Women's Forum and Fiffield at the Heritage Foundation. Their pro-Kavanaugh group was formed on their own time. Fiffield and her pro-Kavanaugh friends had stayed quiet during the original hearings when liberal women raged in the streets and on social media, but in the wake of the baseless 11th hour accusations orchestrated to stop Kavanaugh's confirmation, we couldn't stay silent anymore. So they ran to Kavanaugh's defense, which is interesting. This is a post from Lindsay Fiffield. Serious question. What would go in a Palestinian museum? What are their accomplishments, inventions, or notable figures apart from terrorists and bombs made from the water pipes Israel gave them to pipe in free water for their people? Good stuff from Lindsay.
Well, first off, any inventions while you're living in an open air prison are impressive, and they are one of the most educated groups in the world.
I mean, she's a despicable person, right? Clearly despicable. Runs to Kavanaugh's defense, but like has a problem with Platner. And for all of this, like I just need consistency and integrity. But also the Kavanaugh thing was, it's not that I don't believe that he was possibly a raging alcoholic and had violent tendencies. I do. But like the Kavanaugh thing, I mean, it felt fairly credible that he was that he had raped what's her name, Dr. Christine Blasey Ford, was that her name? Anyway, who knows? But they didn't care about it on the one point, and they do care about it on this one. So again, we know what the real motive is here. Now, what's interesting is Lindsay Fiffield. Guess who her good friend is? Miss Bethany Mandel. I've been close friends with Lindsay Fiffield for 15 years. I've known about Graham since they began dating. She carried a lot of trauma from their time together. I'm so proud of her, whatever. Look at her tweet. Not nuking these fucking animals is the only restraint I expect. And that's only because the cloud would hurt Israelis. So genocidal maniac Bethany Mandel is super proud for her girlfriend speaking up.
Yeah, none of these people care about politics. They barely care about Democrats winning. They just want to. It's stopping progressives. It's allowing Israel to genocide because that's your network of power and friends, either in the media or in politics.
I mean, and so then I do go back to, again, I would not want to be pals with this guy on any level. Does not sound like a charmer. I like the things he says on his platform. But it's just like, when people would say, oh, Julian Assange isn't a real journalist. And did you hear that he, that his sexual harassment charges and even rape charges, and then they were dismissed, and but he's not a nice person. And it was like, but you don't know that about any other journalist. Like, why aren't you talking about it? Why don't we know every other journalist's private life? And it's because the ruling elite wants to crucify this guy because he's telling the truth about that. Right?
That's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, total hit job.
Yeah, I forgot that was the one thing CNN focused on this morning when I was watching it, is that Graham Platner told us last week there are no more shoes to drop, but now we hear he's a bad bartender.
Yeah, he's such a liar.
How can we trust him now? Because no more shoes to drop. Why did I read 17 stories this morning about him being a bad bartender? I mean, that's where they're at right now with this story.
It
does, as Zaina, I'm sorry, but as Zaina was saying, all this does minimize survivors, and it might all be true, but the weaponization of all this stuff makes you pick a side in it, kind of.
Exactly. And the inconsistency, right? Yeah, exactly. And then there's a bunch of other stuff. This is from The Hill. He used the R word. He calls himself a communist. He said all cops are bastards. I'm like, I like two of the three. Kind of love them. I don't want people to see me for who I was in my worst internet comment, or even frankly, who I was in my best. There's like lots of these things that he will keep coming back. And again, like ACAB, great, fine with the, communism stuff.
Yeah.
But the hits that keep coming. Yeah.
I hate a lot of it too, but some of that is the cultural change that we've seen.
Yeah.
Like we've got leftist podcasters today dropping the R-bomb every show.
I hate it. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. So so you can't pretend from the center you care about that when we got real leftists actually doing it still. So like these centrists don't care about that at all.
100%. Yeah. It's all just so dishonest. They don't care about any of this. They support a genocide. They are fine with IDF soldiers raping people to death or just destroying whole civilizations. Yeah,
I was specifically thinking of Kyle.
I know.
I said that.
Disgusting.
I just didn't want to say it, but fuck it.
I hate it. I truly hate it.
Stop it, dude.
Every group gets to have, one word, one slur that they ask people, please don't use that. And I feel like enough people have asked for that. Like, there are how many other hundreds of thousands of words, and to use that is so gross. And it was the first thing that all of these Democrats did when Kamala lost was, she went too woke. And then they all started using the R word. It was just so gross. Like they finally got permission for whatever, just gross.
Yeah.
But yes, so what is interesting though is when you ask the people of Maine, this is what they say.
Well, I think candidly, the Democratic Party's come up short in a lot of ways in terms of like whitewashing our candidates and being so morally elitist and kind of entitled at times. We have to be willing to get dirty.
His baggage is nowhere near their baggage. We're talking about people that are felons and people that take bribes.
I really kind of think that we all have skeletons in our closet, and we've all made mistakes, especially when we're younger.
And that was really a refrain we heard time and time again, this kind of redemption arc. We can, have faith and forgiveness, given that he might have changed his ways or improved his life.
People can't put food on the table. Their retirements are completely knocked out. They don't have health care. They are worried that their kids are going to be sent off to another horrific war. We are part of 2 genocides and an illegal war in Iran. I mean, like, killing people off the coast of, El Salvador and Venezuela. I mean, like there are more pressing problems, even though I really hate that he's so gross. Like, I really do.
So do I, but I think we are at a point where, like, I don't know what it's like living in Maine, but I can tell you about the California politicians.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they tried to sell us Kamala. They tried to sell us all these people that are centrist shitbags, and people that live there know. So, like, when they're out in the streets actually talking to people, I mean, who knows where they go with this campaign, but like, I feel like he's going to win handily still, even though it's a coin flip now.
Yeah. It's Tuesday.
But we don't know what they can do.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, not Susan Collins, Janet Mills is still on the ballot, even though she's not campaigning anymore. So she's floating that out there. And then, of course, we have people like Jill Biden's or was it Jill or Joe Biden's chief of staff, saying that, like, I don't love Susan Collins, but I definitely vote for her over Platner, which is just so revealing. Okay, I just got the notice. Nithya Raman surges past Spencer Pratt for the runoff. Okay.
She's gonna win, thank God. I mean, I don't love her at all.
Yeah, I know. But better trend.
Yes.
Okay, The Nation. Joan Walsh blocked me in 2016 because I responded to some of her takes on Hillary Clinton. So here she is writing this. This is The Nation, which is supposed to be not quite Jacobin, but like the lefty journal, right? Here she is saying, it's Friday morning, and I know deep down I could never vote for Platner. I'm still glad I don't vote in Maine, so I won't be tested on Tuesday. Platner, as most of the political world now knows, accused Thursday in the New York Times of behaving in unsettling ways, whatever. But, like, not surprising that she can't vote for him. She was a Hillary fan. Oh, by the way, who's this lady? Here, they're all coming back. It's all the Hillary crowd coming back, if you want to vomit in your mouth. Neera Tanden, who's quote tweeting this guy, John F. Morton, the centrist Twitterati on here really don't grasp that Graham for Maine, his support isn't coming primarily from terminally online lobstermen like yours truly, but from extremely offline left of dem 75-year-olds who are fed the fuck up with decades of DC fuckery. And she says, yes, but Kamala, here's Neera Tanden, who steered Hillary Clinton into losing to Trump. But to beat Susan Collins, you need those Mitt Romney Republicans, 65-year-old moderate white ladies who are to the right of primary voters. And that's the lie that they will never let go. The people, if you really want to win, look to your left.
It's amazing to me that Neera is back in the public eye. Like, I'm starting to see her again, left and right. I mean, she backed the third way bullshit.
Always.
Center for Progress was hers, and the progress was for corporations. That's what Center for American Progress is. CAP is the scummiest organization to ever exist. And Hillary and her took that whole group, and that was their whole movement to like neoliberalism on steroids is Neera Tanden.
Yep. Yeah. She's horrible. And, Chris Hayes did a whole thing on how Democrats need to win the Senate. And so, because of the Supreme Court, I'm so tired of that argument, because when Democrats have a chance, they never do anything with that. Like Scalia dies. Obama waits forever to nominate Merrick Garland, doesn't really push for it, doesn't use his power. But also, by the way, like Merrick Garland's not that great. Like everybody was so mad that Obama didn't push Merrick Garland. I was mad that he even nominated him. Why was he going for some centrist bullshit corporatist, right?
Yeah, but just seeing how much they're trying to stop Platner, which, yes, you could have a totally valid view on why you're not going to vote for him. I support that entirely, right? But the party is clearly going after him and digging and digging and digging and digging. Right. Wreck the dude. And so if your narrative is, again, our democracy's at stake if Democrats don't take back the White House, why would you keep digging for dirt on your guy? So democracy is not at stake, although it's already gone. But if your argument falls apart when you fight this guy, when you tell us it's a big tent, we got to support the fucking ultra Republican guys in the party, and you can't you got to dig up dirt on the leftists this hard. I don't know. Which
always just gives away the whole game, because they, Neera Tanden, it's just awful. All she I don't know if she was on the show when Joy Reid had the body language expert on, but like she was part of that whole Crush Bernie movement. There's nothing progressive about her at all. Neera Tanden did the exact same thing to Betsy Sween in 2020 in the same race. Betsy was amazing, could have won. I mean, she's just a horrible person, Neera Tanden. And thank you for your super chat. Yeah. She's disgusting. She's an awful, hideous.
She blocked me too, by the way.
Really?
And she blocked me. I used to, insult her all the time. And I think she responded a few times to me, but I hit her on her birthday, which was a little low of me, but that's when she blocked me on her birthday. It was like, it's a gift to herself to block me. I think.
Yeah. Well, she should thank you. She should have thanked you for that. Thank you, Assistant Vendejo, Greater Israel, Technate, no way they'll invoke Samson. Yeah, I don't know. I hope you're right. I am terrified, because I am so terrified because they know everybody hates them. And the Samson, what's it called? The Samson option protocol is an option. Nuke everybody. Like, we're going down, we're taking everybody with us. And these are people who have had nuclear weapons, thanks Jonathan Pollard, for decades now, and are not beholden to anybody. No scrutiny, no oversight. They don't even admit that they have them, and nobody trusts them. Nobody trusts them. Thank you, Bendejo. This is the year, Pat. Albania is the blueprint versus Israel. They're killing it there. They're doing.
Are we going to cover that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
We should spin. I know unless we're close to being done, but
we have a lot of
back to it
stuff today. So okay. Give me 1 second. I'm really sorry. The internet is so slow, and somebody said I must love this weather, and I'm sure you were being hilarious. I will take that.
Okay, I guess I will.
Twist my arm. Oh, I almost said something really awful. I'm glad I didn't.
Oh, I know where you're going with that
one. Okay, we got some clues.
RMI. Let's see what we got here. Let's go with Philip Labes.
Right.
That is why the man said this revolution will be telepathic.
Watch these 6 cats twist the law in knots, toss the 14th Amendment in a moving box. 6 big babies in a big black robe say the Constitution matters until it don't, and laws don't matter unless they're mine. How to rub stay up when you got no spine. Each of these suckers never spend a day living with the problems that they create. Hey, John Roberts, let's see you try to get an abortion when your fetus dies. Hey, Nerdy Neil and Ugly Sam, prove without your papers you're American. Amy Coney, rapist Brett, you'll get respect, you earn respect. And the biggest B, old Clarence T, says loans for you, but yachts for me, supreme, supreme. Time to wake up from the dream. They lie, they scheme, these people ain't supreme.
I like that a lot. And also, I deleted something by accident, so I'm trying to get it back after.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I don't think that was cheery enough. I love him though. He's great, but it's not the break I wanted. So we're gonna do one more RMI.
Okay, good.
Because why not?
Good.
That is why the man said this revolution will be telepathic.
I live in the belly of the beast. Though I only meant to look into his mouth. Was not opportunity, but chains he used to capture me. And I've been trying every day to get back out. And I live in the belly of the beast. This land was built with brutal machines, bones of millions, stolen dreams. How did we all get down here? What evil have we done to deserve the cruelty of America? I live in the belly of the beast. I live in the belly of the beast.
Okay.
I love that guy. We've shown a couple of his, Buffalo Nichols.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
He is so good, and that wasn't cheery either. But I don't know. We're just gonna move on. But we'll have some inspirational articles more often. I don't know. He speaks to me.
Yeah, I love his whole vibe. Okay, so just to wrap up the Platner stuff, there's a couple more little bits here. We got the geez Louise, this is so annoying that my internet is like this, so I can't even get off it. Okay, this was from CNN. Beth Dindis, a Maine Democratic voter, told CNN that Platner lost her when he denied knowing about the origins of his tattoo. She said Platner now has no credibility whatsoever. She added that she supports Mills all the way. I think that ultimately, unfortunately, we're going to lose this race again, and we're going to have 6 more years of Susan Collins, who has let down the people of Maine time after time. I wonder what her favorite position point of Janet Mills is. But let's just be honest about who Beth Platner is, or Beth Dindis is, sorry, working for DMFI. Okay, that's Democratic Majority for Israel. Also working for, she worked for one other, Jewish Federation of Rhode Island. Birthright Israel. I mean, really? Did Platner lose Beth Dindis, or did he ever have her? Because I kind of don't think that Beth Dindis was somebody who would have been voting for anybody who is an anti-Zionist, anti-genocide, anti-apartheid candidate, right?
Yeah, and look, that was part of the other discussion on CNN. Is they're trying to bring her back, Mills. They're trying to. They're like, maybe Mills should get back in the race. So that's if she actually gets out, because she suspended her campaign a while ago.
But
she's the
on
sitting
the ballot.
governor.
Yeah.
And she's on the ballot, right? But if they actually bring her back, that tells you they literally want a Republican to win.
Yep.
Which might be happening. And that tells you Platner's on the verge of winning. If she gets out and starts giving speeches, they want to lose the race.
Yeah. I mean, the crazy thing is Schumer finally, I think he didn't exactly endorse Platner, but he said we have to win the Senate. He does not care if they win the Senate. The only reason he would care would be to say, I have a win, under my belt behind me or whatever. But like, there's no part of him that truly wants Platner to win. Clearly, we're on opposite sides of the fence. All of these people, they are just truly, truly despicable. And then, of course, I mean, this is hilarious. Then you hear from David Frum, like, this is a, far right Republican, George W. Bush speechwriter, axis of evil guy. The price of Platner, National Democrats now face his choice between reviling a large and maybe growing number of women as liars. I don't think that he's using his words properly. I don't even know exactly what he means by that. I think he misused the word revile, but okay. Or arguing through November that twisting a woman's arm and locking her in a room is merely messy, not violent. First of all, nobody cares what David Frum says. He's disgusting. And as Ken
Wait a minute.
points out,
you cannot move on without me saying David Frum's the guy who wrote the article saying my tweet was the first use of a deep fake by President Trump.
That's right.
That's David Frum. He wrote that article. That article got shared on all the major news networks as evidence that Trump shared the first deep fake, but the news couldn't even show you the deep fake. That's how
ridiculous.
That's how
was.
I don't know. It was the most telling thing to ever happen to me in my life about politics is that David Frum wrote an article about me accusing Trump of sharing my tweet as the first deep fake use by a presidential candidate, and all the networks ran with it and couldn't even show the deep fake. Just like with Platner, they can't even get into the issues. They can't even show the things he's accused of because it's so lacking substance.
It's so lacking substance or proof. It's hearsay, and I mean it's all gross. Like, and honestly, I believe it's probably true, but I believe she didn't care enough to talk about it before. I don't know. It's just all like all of these people are so disgusting and insincere, and they truly don't care about any of this except they just want to continue being comfortable and being part of the ruling elite. Like, they don't care if they win or lose. They just want to continue being in this club. That's it. That's all.
That's it. And they can't be in the club if they don't support Israel. That's the bare entry to the club, Israel.
Yeah. Or if they argue for healthcare for everybody, right? Yeah. Like, it's the military, it's Israel, it's Zionism, and it's pharmaceuticals, and it's healthcare, it's all of that.
Yes. Data. But I feel like they could argue for that other stuff because people all know in the club that it's not going to happen. But you're doing harm to Israel by just mentioning, that's a different level.
Yeah. I mean, Bernie has gotten slightly better on Israel, slowly. But the truth is, they crushed him in 2016. And he wasn't, he would say things about like disproportionate use of force, but like he's still a Zionist and they still had to crush him. I mean, in the end, it's capitalism. And in the end, what it is, it's people power, because they're not coming after Platner. They're not coming after Bernie. They're coming after all of us. They do not want us to have any power. And when you see what people are doing in Bolivia, and we really have to get somebody on or do like a whole segment on it, they are destroying the people in power. They are putting up roadblocks. They are on like, I don't know how many weeks of strikes. They are, burning down homes and putting their hands. That's okay. Good night, everybody. It's been so good to see. That is really what they object to. And yes, that has all these like other specifics, but they're coming after us. And which is why it was so like, that was the thing. That's why I didn't sleep for 2 years when they crushed Bernie in 2020, not because of Bernie. It's because, oh, wow, they will never let us get a shred of power ever.
And that's the thing. Like, so when our centrist friends are starting to go left, they're still going to look for an electoral way out of this because they haven't been through the disillusionment we have yet, because they're just starting to care for the first time.
Yep. Yeah.
Right. We gotta speed them through that part, give them a history lesson as fast as fucking possible, point out some real world examples happening now of how the Democratic Party doesn't give a fuck about us at all. and get them past this whole one more Democrat thing.
Oh my God, I know. I'm still like, my resentment. I mean, I could never be a politician because my resentment towards them, my reviling of them, as David Frum would say, is too great. But also, they really resent the left always for being right first. Like, they just hate it. They hate that we understand what, like, on October 7th, we said, like, this is going to be the end of Israel because they are going to do a genocide. And we knew it because we saw it, because you know who they are, right? But like they, you know, it's just,
they're trying to slow us. They're trying to slow down how right we are, right? Because it's going to be untenable to support Israel in elections. And the midterms now, the primary midterms, are the closest thing to test this strategy. And they want to show some Israeli backers can still win, but really it's a drag on your campaign big time, and they all know it's happening. It's time. Give it time. But
honestly, do not understand. Sorry. I'm looking at all of your comments, and it like, I'm so grateful because I feel like I am losing my head, especially like it's the same tactics that they always use. It's the same like mind-numbingly stupid exhaustion of having to start things over and all that. And sorry, I'm just gonna share this really quickly because it popped up on my memories today. 10 years ago today, I was canvassing for Bernie with my son Xander, my younger son, and we were canvassing for Bernie. And yeah, that was 2016. And now he's I'm in his defense. I wish you would have pronounced his name Chef Xander, because that guy can cook. Oh, that's so nice.
He can cook. I
so
only hung out with Lala at her house once, but
I know. Come back.
Her son is amazing at cooking.
That's really sweet. Well, we will be very happy to host you again this summer. And thank you. I appreciate, Pat and I both appreciate all of you guys and the camaraderie, because I think we all, you know, I know we're not alone, and thank you, you know, to all of you, David and Hogel and everybody, but like, it's, I don't know, God, like we're watching this just continue. I just can't believe we're still in this situation. I'm just so angry. I can't get past that. Okay.
No, it's a double-edged sword when you see all these other countries starting to fight back against their government. You're like, dude, we're at the central point of like fighting capitalism, and we're not doing it. Like we could change every other country on earth if we just got together and did something fucking here.
It's kind of amazing to see, and you know, we'll touch a little bit on Albania towards the end of the show, but they've been fantastic. They are going, so there's Israeli settlers who have their, you know, junky, you know, whatever they put up there first, you know, what are those trailers? And Albanians are coming, breaking the windows, the doors, yanking them out and ejecting them. Like, get out of here. Yeah, it's amazing. I love it. Okay. Okay, let's move on to did you have anything else you want to say about the whole Platner stuff? Oh, by the way, just last thing on, if you really did want to take down Collins, you could possibly look at her stock trading, where she didn't disclose her violation of the Stock Act. I mean, didn't disclose her trading in violation of the Stock Act. But would anybody like to talk about that? No, because they all do it. How are you going to make any money in Congress if you don't violate the law? Wait, what?
They don't make enough to be ethical, right?
Yeah. How are you supposed to survive $174,000 a year? Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so we're moving on apparently. Oh, look at
that.
Yeah,
we are. Because we need something good before we move on to Jill Biden.
We are out of RMI. So
okay. Nice. Well, maybe we'll do a Lego if we land on it. That looks good to me.
This one is Albania.
What'd you say?
Oh, I cheers to Albania.
Cheese. Yeah, sorry. I can't see you when I'm on the screen, and everything is moving so slowly over here. So I didn't know if you said something I need to. Okay.
Well, I was also slurring my words, so there's that.
You're self-medicating just the right amount.
My back.
Sorry, that sucks. I totally get it, and it's horrible. I'm really sorry.
It's all right. It's temporary. Let's see. Let's show cats being weird. Always a fan.
Jimmy, hi.
They are so cute. Oh my god, I love that.
All right. That was Sleepy Cats. Not. I thought it was cats being weird. I have another video of cats being weird, but it's somewhere else. But either way, cats.
So cute. I love it. Also, the sleeping with their eyes like a little bit open is so funny to me.
Oh, Pablo does my outdoor cat does the full murder shield. So they're like glowing.
Oh yeah.
Like
So
wide
you
open.
see the white.
Just
I know,
those
so-
shields. Yeah.
Andrew used to sleep like that every once in a while, and we used to laugh that it was because of Josh's horror writing that he was always like, I don't want my dad to sneak up on me. And thank you, Vindejo. Zio say the same about Iran, and we see what's up. I'm not sure what. I'm sorry because I think you sent this a little bit ago, and I'm not sure to what you are referring. But thank you for your super chat. Between the heat, the slow internet, the everything, I'm feeling a little discombobulated. So I'm sorry. Thank you for bearing with me. Okay. The other thing that's been going on, I mean, I do feel like we never get out of 2016, 2020. We're just like doing the same shit over and over. Quickly want to say James Carville seems to be all in on Platner.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
It's a little weird, right?
It is. James Carville is like the OG, Yoda from like, in the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Wise old elder who comes out. But his whole thing is like for the last 6 years, he's like, tomorrow Trump's getting arrested. So you can't believe anything he says either. He's full of shit. But
he's awful. I mean, he's awful. Okay, Benheo, that I understand that they don't have any culture, art. We're gonna rip away everything. Got it. Yes, they did, and they're just the worst people in the world. Thank you for clarifying. I appreciate it. And yeah, that makes me nervous. Is it just that he wants to win? Does he care? Does he just want to seem relevant? Is it like Obama going to hang out with Zohran Mamdani? Like, what is it?
I mean, relevance might be the key because he's gotten everything wrong for the last 10 years.
Like
practically
everything. The last winning election was 96 for him, right? Yeah. All right, let's just hear.
So Skeletor, he's the guy married to the Republican consultant, Mary Matlin. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they are the epitome of what's wrong with our politics is that, look, you can't, in my world, you can't be a leftist married to a rightist. Like
Okay,
That
I agree with you.
can't
Why
really
was
work.
Platner with that Lindsay Fifield then? Because she's a right-wing Kavanaugh lady, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know, but in my defense, like, 10 years ago, I dated a Republican.
Really?
I converted her. Does that help?
All right. Well, you were putting in your time. You're putting in some work. Yeah, I'm with you, Zizou. He's one of the most disgusting, truly.
And probably 15 years ago, just for the record, probably 15 years ago. Anyway.
All right. This is because, truly, like yes, it's Israel, but it is money. It's always the money, right? So this is Washington Post. They got rid of their regular journalists. And it's not like I was a big fan of Washington Post in the first place, but to make room for some like Yahoo influencer kind of people who have a podcast now, who regularly get fewer views than even you and I do. But this is like the Washington Post, right? Like that should be getting tens of thousands of views, like Hassan Piker.
It's a micro level of Bari Weiss being promoted to the head of CBS, and they bought her podcast or whatever her platform was for millions of dollars, and she had like nobody gave a shit about her platform. And then suddenly, just because you're a Zionist, hey, here's a fuck ton of money, and you're running CBS now.
Yep. And when they're asked about all the money they're losing, all the subscribers they're losing at the Washington Post, at the New York Times, all these, like, they don't care, actually. 60 Minutes. I mean, although they are finally, there is some blowback. We have a short clip with Pelly, the guy they just fired. Again, like, I do not ever want to be somebody who supports, Scott Pelley or Jim Acosta or any of these people who get bullied by Trump, because they're all just repulsive. But I don't know, man, we're always put in this situation, right? Thank you, BDA, for the super sticker. Cheers. Thank you. Okay, so this is the dissection of Zoran's ideology on the Washington Post Make It Make Sense pod.
The language that Zoran Mamdani was using came from a very specific tradition. Mm-hmm. It's not 100% communist and it's not 100% Islamist. There's a middle, is what I mentioned as third worldism, which is a political and ideological framework through which one divides the world into two groups. The first one being the oppressed and the second one being the oppressor.
What is the core emotion that drives that train of thought? Like, is that guilt?
I think it's one of them, but there's also sometimes a revanchist sentiment. There's also sometimes just a pure hatred for the country.
Is it fair to say that third worldism is an extension of cultural Marxism?
Yes, it is.
And it's in our culture, and it has trickled down, which is why you see the oppressor-oppressed landscape applied to landlords. So there's this very binary, dumbed-down perspective of the world, like owners, bad. People who are renters, let's call it the broader working class, working poor, they are by default at odds to that class. And I think it's counterproductive. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, owners are bad. Oh, you're muted.
I was just gonna say, counterpoint, owners are bad. Like, that's just,
yeah. It's class war. We know it. Like they've been doing it to us for millennia. Like, what are you even talking about?
Yeah.
How do you find like two millennials? The only two millennials who are still right wing at this point, right? Who are pro capitalism. Bizarre. All I want to say to them is,
my mayor Muslim, my bagel's Jewish, my Christian Dior.
When it rains, it pours. She like the way I heard. Like a Mary. Billie Jean.
I'm just loving the New York stuff. I understand if people aren't or whatever, but I just think it's fun to see the people out in the street just like loving life.
I feel like, look, there's no God. Sorry, people. Hate to break it to you. But if there is a God, he's rooting for socialism in New York because New York is on fire right now.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty fucking awesome. I love it. Hey, Sonny.
I wish somebody kicked that robot over and broke his arms off. Because you sent me that video and I'd already seen it, but you sent it to me and it reminded me of the other video of that same fucking style robot kicking a little 7 or 8 year old kid in the gut, like making the rounds. It's like
tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow, Monday. Yeah. I hear you. Oh, look, everybody I'm sorry. I have the slowest fucking internet here. So that, look at David just wants me to be happy tonight. Thank you. Thank you. First I'm right. And then I maybe look like a god.
What would that make me? Am I an apostle? Or I don't even know the Christianity.
You're my
no, Judaism? I don't know. What religion would it be?
I don't know, but I don't believe in God. So it would be, we'd make it up. It would be people power. The people are the power. Okay. So, all right. I guess we just have to go here. Do we really? I don't know. It's just awful. Like, we're really going to talk about Joe Biden. This is the first time she ever noticed this. Like, pay attention to your husband, doctor.
Were you horrified as you saw it unfold?
I wasn't horrified. I was frightened because I had never, ever seen Joe like that before or since. Never.
Or since?
Yes. Or
You've
since.
never seen him like
never.
that?
No.
What happened?
I don't know what happened. I mean, as I watched it, I thought, oh my God, he's having a stroke. And it scared me to death.
Okay.
Liar.
First of all, we all saw it from 2019. There were other people on the primary debate stage, like Julian Castro and Cory Booker, and the whole panel at CNN and MSNBC, Andrea Mitchell talking about he's lost a step, whatever. But if you had never seen him act like that, which we all know is a lie, on that debate, like, so we're talking about the horrible debate that then was the, inciting incident that finally, made people call for his not continuing his candidacy or his run for president. If you truly thought he had a stroke and you'd never seen him do that before, would you rush out onto stage after that performance like this?
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the facts. And let me ask the crowd, what did Trump do? Lie! Yes.
I forgot about that moment entirely, but it just reminded me how bad he was, because that did more damage because everyone was following the debate. And then she comes out there and they kept bringing her out to speak with him on events after that. All the interviews was the duo. And so she knew, like, this narrative that she didn't know, she knew.
Of course she did. Everybody was talking about it. We all saw it. Like, she lived with him. Of course we all saw it. And then there's the whole thing of George Clooney finally, doing his whole op-ed in the New York Times.
Piece.
But we all saw it in 2019. So that's all a lie. And as Miranda says, you thought it was a stroke, and then you rushed on. You're like, you got all the answers, Bunny. Like, that's what you say to a 2-year-old, right? It's so ridiculous.
And if you're a doctor and it's a stroke, as you mentioned, like, you're gonna rush him. No, she's not a doctor. Well, she's a doctor.
Yeah.
But you're gonna rush. You're gonna get help immediately. Like, treatment time matters the most in a stroke.
Not if you want to win another round of the presidency, apparently. I mean, look at how the elder abuse to keep him running, like how unhealthy that is when he's sundowning at that severe level, right? Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah.
The dopey face on him, the open, like, staring at you, like, that part is the part, like, they might have pulled it off if he didn't have that all the time, but everywhere he went, he had that I mean, and obviously walking around the stage all weird and
I mean,
whatnot.
come on, yeah.
But you can't. One of those moments where you're just open mouth staring at your wife without saying anything kills. You're done. And we knew he was done forever, and we got Trump because of that.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, all of it is ridiculous. And also, you know, I have no sympathy, honestly, like as much as I think to analyze her character, you have to look and say, like, she was willing to force him to keep, you know, this charade up because she was power hungry. But he was doing a genocide, and he crushed 3 strikes. And his whole history of what he did, you know, to Black and brown communities with the crime bill. And like, I mean, everything about him is just so gross.
Her whole revising history tour that she's on right now is annoying the fuck out of me.
Yep.
And it reminds me a lot about Hillary. It's like Hillary 2.0.
Yeah.
And yes, I know it's a woman, and that maybe I'm being sexist with it, but it reminds me so much of it. Like, oh, don't blame me for what we got now. You know, it's not my fault.
Yep.
I couldn't have known, like, you know.
Well, and then, you know, Jake Tapper, who lambasted anybody who commented on the obvious mental decline, cognitive decline of Joe Biden, then had to rush his book with Derek Thompson to try to
where he
say,
knew
like,
time.
hard hitting. He just called out Jill Biden for pretending that, you know, she didn't know. I mean, they're all just so dishonest. It's all about power and money. It's just really gross.
And all these people in the press that are pretending they knew or they didn't know or whatever, like they all knew in 2020 what a mess he was. They all critiqued him then.
Yep.
They trashed
Bernie.
Biden them.
Yeah.
And they trashed him even in the primaries until it was going to be Bernie. And then they were like, no, now all that stuff, anyone saying what I said 4 years ago, you're the enemy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really repulsive.
Anyone saying what I said 6 months ago, 3 months ago, like the pivot it is so fraudulent. It so exposes who they are.
Well, and it's why, I mean, they aren't journalists. It's why they have no solidarity with their colleagues who are being slaughtered by Israel, you know, in Gaza and in Lebanon. They don't speak out on that. They don't care. It's all just about maintaining their status in this club. It's just gross. It is interesting to me, the friction between the Bidens and the Kamala Harris, Doug Emhoff, and to see where, so there was a funny thing when people were calling on Biden finally to step back and stop his campaign, the Kamala people were all in for Biden because I don't think that they knew for certain that she would be the one who would get the nomination. So at least if he continued, she was going to be vice president, right? But they were the ones who were slamming anybody who said that Joe should drop out. But now we've got these 2 memoirs that are doing battle, and it's going to be very interesting as Kamala is trying very hard to manifest some sort of, you know, destiny for herself. So Jill Biden's on The View, and Sunny, whoever the hell, who pretends to be sort of like the progressive seat, reads her a paragraph from Kamala's memoir.
We are back with Jill Biden. Sunny, have the question.
Thank you, Whoopi. I agree with Alyssa. This is a quick read. It is a wonderful read. You're very vulnerable in it, and I think it'll help a lot of people. And you write very warmly about your relationship with former Vice President Kamala Harris and her husband, Doug Emhoff. Now, she also wrote a book, 107 Days, that I read, and I understand you have not read it.
No.
But in her book, she alludes to a much more fractured relationship between the Bidens and the Emhoffs. She writes that your family asked if she and Doug were loyal to your family. And she wrote that her husband, Doug, said they hide you away for 4 years, give you impossible bleep jobs, Don't correct the record when those tasks are mischaracterized. Never fight back when you're attacked. Never praise your accomplishments. And then, he added, and still, they have to ask if we're loyal. Yeah. How do you respond to that?
I never saw that. I never felt that way with Kamala and Doug. I thought we were a great team. Joe.
You look shocked.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know. We were a team, and that July 4th that we were together, it was like we were saying to America, hey, we are the team. You know, it is Joe and Kamala. We are together. And so I feel, you know, Joe chose her. And for Doug to feel that way, I really am surprised. I love, you can, when you read my book,
yeah.
I talk about Doug. I love that he went into teaching. We talk about it all the time. We traveled together.
Yeah.
We had so many laughs together. And so that kind of surprises me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I hate that right-wing guy, but he's the one who clipped it. First of all, I love that she was like, make sure you get in there that I haven't read the book. Have not read. My dear friend, we're on the same team. And also, we asked if they were loyal to us. I've never in my life said, are you loyal to me? To anybody. What are you talking about? Your dear friend? What?
I encourage Kamala to run. Let's get her out there. Democratic Party, make her your gal. Make it happen. Like, all in on Kamala, because that'll tell the public where you stand more than anything. She has been so utterly rejected by the public, both in California and on the globe and in the US. And nobody fucking likes her. If you try to rebrand her, you could not be more cooked. Like, the beauty is it's a primary. So like, you can't, you forced her on us through your bullshit shit. And that's the only way. She would never win a primary. Like, not ever.
When's the last real primary
ever
we had? 2008. 2008 was the last actual primary, right? Where it was like up for grabs and Obama won.
Yeah.
And I wonder
beat the Clintons.
Right,
I mean,
that's hilarious. Actually, I would love a Jill v. Kamala primary. That'd be hilarious. Bring it.
Oh.
No, actually, I can't. I mean, like, I'm so always raging with all of these people.
Well, for all my rage, the entertainment factor. Let's get Joe Rogan in there. Let's get fucking Bill Maher in there. Like, this is what people are pushing. They're pushing the new Jeb. There's another Bush making a comeback,
and there's that Kennedy guy who's running for Congress or Senate or something. I can't.
There's no real. I mean, I don't want to get into presidential election politics for at least another year, but it's going to be just entertainment value. Great, but good for the country. Worse than ever.
Just awful. Yeah, I mean, truly just awful. Okay, sorry, because I can't catch up fast enough, so I can't see everybody's comments, but this would be hilarious. And also, I would need so much more wine. Okay, so that is the state of what's happening there. Was there any more stuff? Yeah, there was a couple of things. I can't even read this because it's all so slow. Oh, okay. So this is from the Jill Biden book. When he called then Vice President Kamala Harris to tell her of his decision, she first expressed concern. Oh my God, Joe, are you sure? We did it, Joe. No, I'm kidding. She asked. The Bidens were at their beach home in Rehoboth, whatever, Beach, Delaware, his phone on speaker. Then Harris switched into what Jill Biden called her courtroom prosecutor mode and began pushing him to immediately announce his endorsement of her to replace him on the Democratic ticket. When he suggested waiting until the next morning, she warned that any delay would be an opening for mischief. That is, by Democrats who might be interested in backing someone other than her. I want it sooner, she said. I'll call you back when I figure this out, Joe said. Could you do it soon, she replied, say in 20 minutes. At that point, Jill Biden says she walked out of the room. So
that's the first thing Jill Biden has ever written that I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that part happened for sure.
For sure.
For sure. She was like this opportunist biatch.
Yeah.
Coming in here. Yeah. My husband's retiring, giving her the mantle. And she's like, can you go now?
Fast. We got
it's crazy. But can you do it right now? I never saw this coming, but we have shirts made up.
Oh my God, that little girl. Yeah, I think that is the blue sky. Thanks for the great decision from the Supreme Court, everybody who didn't vote for Kamala. Thank you. And by the way, I think
Erica. Oh my God,
would win. I think she could win, possibly, because she's got the fireworks. Oh my God, why does my face keep freezing in the worst? I need to like exit and come back, but then I'm afraid it wouldn't happen. Okay.
No, but we are going to get the biggest push for the worst people on earth.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
The trajectory. Look, this is the one thing about capitalism. It doesn't ebb and flow towards our favor.
No.
There's no ebb and flow. It just gets fucking worse. And that's what we're looking at next. Worse.
Yeah. We are really headed worse. I guess we don't know. Maybe there's some great person out there we just haven't even heard of yet. But
maybe it's a good billionaire. A good billionaire.
Yeah. Yes.
Because Steyer's going to run again. He's going to run. He's absolutely going to run again. Yeah. If he's not governor.
He just cannot get enough of himself. He could be doing so much with the hundreds of millions of dollars he's spending on himself. He could do so much. By the way, it is interesting. Biden aides are speaking out. This is, Alex Thompson. So take of it what you will. Alex Thompson, not married to, brother of Derek Thompson, who wrote the Abundance book. And then Alex Thompson wrote the book with Jake Tapper. Quite a family. It's kind of like the Emmanuels, the Ari, Zeke, and whatever the third person is. But anyway, they all hate him. One former Biden official said, I just wish they would give some more time and space and let people move on. It all feels so disingenuous. Another said the through line between her book and Kamala Harris's is that they blame everyone but themselves for the loss. A former senior Biden official added, President Biden actually has a legacy that is impactful and should be celebrated at some point, getting us through the pandemic and passing life-changing bills. These people should all fucking rot in the flames of hell. Like, truly, the hell I don't believe in, I wish existed. His legacy is genocide, crime bill, crushing 3 strikes, killing 800,000 people when he said, take your mask off. Like, he is a disgrace, please. And handing the reins of power back to Trump.
Yeah. And I think, look, none of this is sitting well with centrist normie Dems either, because they didn't buy this. Neither of those narratives speak to them, right? So when you ask a centrist Biden's legacy, it includes Trump, because they understand his ego and arrogance and his being insufferably narcissistic, and his wife's and his decision to stay in this race. Like that's an accepted truth now that he shouldn't have been running. And so even if you thought Kamala was great, you're like, Biden is why we got Trump, because he made it too hard for her to win. Like, that's this bullshit you believe, but you still blame Biden for it.
Yeah.
Like,
yes. Yeah, Biden's legacy is trash. 40 years of trash. Like, name one good thing. Seriously, what is the good thing? What's the legacy? Empathetic Joe? Fuck off. Yep. Justin, we almost missed it. Shut up, Jill. He was shaking hands with ghosts. Thank you for your super chat, and thank you for alerting us. I'm sorry. I will. I'm flying back tomorrow. Not that my internet's always so great at home, but we're just like a little off kilter here. But thank you for your super chat. Okay, this was interesting though, and this is. I just want to make sure. And Hunter Biden, of course, is trying to take down Jake Tapper. Tapper trying to take down the Bidens. It's just like, because the only thing that any of these people care about is power. So it's not about the ideology. They're all genociders. They're all fine with that. They're all fine with ICE, basically. They're all fine with the border bill and closing the border and locking people up in cages and not having health care and 70,000 people dying every year because they can't get health care, not raising the minimum wage. Like, they're fine with all of that. What they're not fine with is ever losing a shred of power. So, like, how do you keep appealing to your corporate donors or the people who pay your salary or whatever it is? That's the fight. But it has nothing to do with anything that affects any of us. I mean, it affects us because they suck and they're destroying our world. But, like, they're not fighting about ideology. Like, again, what's Biden's legacy that's good? Like, what are they even talking about when they're saying that? Like, what would they point to, I wonder? They say he got us through COVID.
Well, but regardless with the Kamala and Biden beef, they have the same exact platform 100% on. It's a mirror, right? Yeah. So you're not arguing about anything that is what people voted on. They voted against your platform. Fuck.
Yeah. They do not care.
Combined fuck with Kamala and
all of them.
It's one fuck. They're one fuck. The oligarchy is one fuck.
And, like, to hear any of them talk about anything, even a Nazi tattoo. I do not like Nazi tattoos, but also they were all huge fans of sending billions of dollars to Ukrainian Nazis. They're fine with that. They're huge fans of committing genocide. They're fine with that. So, like, a Nazi tattoo, I don't think they really give a fuck.
I'm sorry, Lila, but are you not concerned about shrinkflation and your Doritos having 5 less chips?
My ticket.
That's a big fucking issue to a lot of us.
Oh my God. I'm so overwhelmed with anger. Okay. We need to make it through the shitty Dems so we can quickly do the shitty Repubs and then the shitty Zionists. We got it faster, louder, funnier. Okay. 2 things.
Wait a minute.
Oh yeah.
Faster? No, I disagree entirely.
Okay. Look at you self-medicating. You're ready to hang a little longer?
The beers, my back is fine now. We can roll longer.
Seriously? I knew
alcohol is a magical drug.
Pat, my sidekick. I'm joking. I'm totally joking. That's what I think David said that as a joke.
I am your Robin. Your Robin.
Yeah, I feel like
people need some Lego.
We need some Lego. We need a little Lego tonight. Do you want to pick it or do you want me to pick it?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick it just because Albania. Come on, Albania. We love you.
Okay, but
let's go.
What are you doing?
Buying a piece of the earth to hide the stain. But the ocean remembers everything. Golden sand, white walls, a polished lie. Under the Balkan sun, the secrets never die. I bunker on the coast, building a new throne. But the ghost of the island is a seed that's grown. From the shadows of the west to the shores of the east, the world watches and we've awakened the beast. No more masks, no more deals, no more hidden game. The gold is just a cover for a century of shame. Trace the money, trace the blood, trace the hidden line. A private paradise where the elites align. By an island in Albania, keep the circle tight. A sanctuary for the ones who vanish in the night. It's the Epstein blueprint, just a different shade of blue. A playground for the wicked, and we're coming for the view. They call it investment, we call it evolve. The fortress for the crimes, a systematic fall. While they build their villas and they sip the vintage wine. The world is waking up to the corruption of the design. Look at them, fighting over scraps in a house on fire. The West is a mirror cracked and blind, and we are the ones who see the reflection. We see you! Balkans sun, the secrets never die. Ivanka on the coast, building a new throne. But the ghost of the island is a seed that's grown. No more mass, no more deals, no more hidden game. The world sees it, and we're naming every name.
They try to buy the silence with the golden piece of land, but the truth still bleeds through the shifting Albanian sand. The pattern is ancient, the cycle is clear. The powerful hide the sins in the climate, the fear. From the towers of New York to the Adriatic Sea, Ivanka thinks the island set a legacy free. But the eye of the east is wide open and cold, and the story of the paradise is finally being told.
Okay. Okay, so there's two different ones. I would love to do the other one back to back. Can we just
not two Lego videos? The people would hate that.
Well, just because so that's a new person. Okay, so, or a new person I found, or a new content creator, Militar Crafted. I don't mean I found. I mean I don't mean to be like, I found but I just mean like I just came upon that. Okay, so that's Militar Craft. Albania, we see you. This is Persia Boy, Albania, not for sale. And we want to hear from you guys what, like, because I'm trying to figure out like what makes some of them like make me so excited or not, or like which things need to be incorporated to make them really powerful. And maybe it's all of it. Okay, here we go.
Yeah. They're trying to buy the land again. Albania said nah. Albania's not for sale. Not to Trump, not to Kushner, not to the Zionists, hell nah. Albania's not for sale. We see the game, we see the plan. We not for sale. They came with the money trying to take the coast, size and island or the lagoon. That's what they want the most. Kushner and the Zionists trying to cut a deal while the government stay quiet, acting like it's real. But the people in the streets saying cancel the plan. We not selling our land so the rich can get rich. Ivanka, go home, take your husband too. Albania belong to Albanians, not to you. Albania's not for sale. Not to Trump, not to Kushner, not to the Zionists, hell nah. Albania's not for sale. We see the game, we see the plan. We not for sale. From Tirana to the coast, the young generation rise. Gen Z in the streets with fire in their eyes. Water cannons flying, but they still on their feet, saying Albania is not for sale. Loud and deep, environmental destruction, they can see it clear. You trying to turn our land into another playground, yeah, but they you standing tall, they refuse to fold. Albania is not for sale. That's the story told. Sacred defense. Albania is not for sale. Not today, not tomorrow. We see you. Sacred defense. Sacred defense.
What do we think? I kind of love them both in different ways, but I don't know. You're
I like the second one more, but
I think I do too.
it had more I don't know. It pulled on the heartstrings. It explained a little more too. Like
It's just clearer, right? It just like got to it a little clearer. Yeah, I agree. But I mean, but I love that both. So far, all of the ones give history and like bring people into the story so we really understand what's happening. Because I think it's, I am learning a lot. I'm learning a lot these last like 5 years. All of a sudden, like I know maps in a different way. And, I really am appreciative of this education.
You know what's really telling to me right now? I mean, look, we our whole thing for years as leftists is to critique the media's response and to bring them into the discussion about how they're the reason we aren't like, they're so invested in capitalism themselves that we don't have a response to this that centrists agree with, because they think we're radical, because they're not looking at the same news we are. Right. But Albania shows that, because they're not like, if your whole vibe on your network is to attack Trump and Trump bad or something, and you're not covering Albania, where it's a real estate snatch from the fucking Republican, from Trump. How are you not covering that? And you're not covering it because it's the people uprising, which would be bad for capitalism, to see one example of the public fighting back against the corrupt oligarchy. You know,
the Gaza Riviera, it's all the all-inclusives in the Caribbean and in Mexico, where all of a sudden people who are indigenous to the land can't access their beaches, their water, their fishing. They can't get to work in a direct line. They have to go around all the resorts, like all of it.
And it goes hand in hand with our fight now against the data centers, because it feels the same. So if you see a story about Albanians fighting back against this thing they didn't agree with or vote for, that some people pushed through because they got bribed, you're like, well, Kevin Leary's Utah fucking megaplex that's just going to ruin the environment for fucking 3 states around it. Maybe we can learn something from these people. So the news doesn't cover it, even though it's the most damning thing that's glaringly obvious in front of anti-Trumpers, like, you know, no kings people should eat that up.
But that's just a parade. Like, that's just a t-shirt slogan or whatever the fuck. Like, they don't even know what they're talking about actually when they like the no kings is all a joke, and it's like a pressure
right
relief.
but I'm saying, if you showed this story to appeal to that audience, 100%. You would be educating them on people fighting back, which it's like a trade-off to you. You're like, we don't want to really show them people fighting back against the no kings thing, because they might fight back against the data centers.
Don't fight. Although I did just see that the data center from Kevin O'Leary is being cut in half, I think, which is still bad.
Well,
but at least shows like pressure.
Yeah, he has agreed that it's going to be cut in half. I think we're going to make it not happen.
That's what I hope. Like, I don't want to celebrate a half measure. I mean, remember the no half measures? Bernie's the compromise. The oligarchy is one fuck. I love that. Good. Pat, that was you. Pat is right. And so is Zainab. And thank you for the super chat.
Put it on a hat. Let's go.
Yeah. Or a tank top. I need to put it on a tank top. Okay. So we had.
It is sexual. Maybe it should be on some. Never mind. Let's go. All
right. Thank you, Vendejo. You can't see around.
It's the beer
on the Epstein media. I've been off of. Today I was watching. Okay, who's that? Mario Andwal. I don't know. I had seen some things of his that felt right wing, or at least like corporatist kind of stuff. But then today he was live and was like with Larry Johnson, who is obviously like way more to the right than I am, but was like talking about like minute to minute updates of what was happening, and then Al Jazeera Live. And then we came on, but I haven't looked on regular media, like how they're covering this. I'm sure they're just saying like, Iran attacked Tel Aviv. So now they have to fight back. Now, Israel's fighting back. Israel's defending itself, guys. Israel is defending itself.
Well, once you get to a point where you can say they were going to do something next, so we attacked defensively, which is how we started this war. I mean, that once you start a war like that, you can just keep doing it forever, which is
the plan.
This is why it's all synergy. It's like the pre-crime of us being leftists. Yeah, they can come after us because we're
You are
promoting views that are going to be bad for society.
Anti-capitalism, baby. That is all you need to know. Okay. So here were one thing. Well, here's one good thing. I'm not even going to show Dr. Amy Acton just to make everybody rage. She's running for governor of Ohio against, what's his name? Vivek Ramaswamy. What's his name? Ramaswamy. But like, they're going to keep doing this. And do we think that the Wine Mom I've Had It podcast, are they representative of libs right now? Like, I wonder how much they are representative of the libs. Or is it, Ezra Klein? Like, who is actually...
I feel like the lib group is shrinking, right? Because just like the comedian was like, I was in the 2% and I punched up the 1%. Right. I feel like the libs are getting hit with all the economic consequences of like supporting either party.
Yeah.
On some level. Like it's starting to hit.
AI coming for white collar jobs and all that.
Yeah. So it's starting to hit, but
yeah.
They will still be the easiest group to scare into like just vote left because it's better anyway,
Yeah. Which, I mean, listen, I know we both were like a little felt that pull, whether we acted on it or not, about, Tom Steyer and Nithya Raman, right? I really don't want Spencer Pratt, but like I'm not rewarding Nithya Raman. They are doing a good job. They're educating people, they're connecting working class people internationally. Yeah. It's really awesome. Okay, but this is the lady who, Dr. Amy Acton, thinking that she's solved the problem. Yeah, okay, Kimiko, I want to know about Mario Nawal, because I've seen people talk about him. I always just thought he was like some right-wing influencer news guy, and now he's got all these people on his show. Like, I don't understand how that happens. I'm sure it's just like whoever his agent is and pushing, they just decided like this is going to be the young guy. But I thought he was a right-winger. Like, truly, I need to look it up. Anyway, but I'm glad to see you're with me. Okay, here's Dr. Amy Acton.
Here's some audio of your opponent from a recent event he did.
And here's another thing I'm not going to point Democrats to my cabinet, okay?
So that was my opponent broadcasting loud and clear that he refuses to work across the aisle, something I'm kind of known for. As a doctor, I never asked my patients whether they were Democrats or Republicans. My job was to listen, understand their concerns, and help solve their problems. And that's exactly what our next governor should do. When Vivek Ramaswamy promises not to have any Democrats in his cabinet, it's exactly the wrong way to approach solving problems. For my entire career, I've been focused on solutions, not partisanship, because no single party has all the answers. And as governor, I pledge to have Republicans and Democrats and independents in my cabinet, because Ohio deserves to have good leaders on all sides of the aisle who truly want to solve the issues of our everyday lives. It's that simple.
Can you imagine saying that right now? Like, they're a fascist party that are locking people up who want to criminalize the property that they're forcing us all into. And we want to work across the aisle because what we really need is a strong Republican Party.
It goes so against where the public is. Like, I'm pretty fucking leftist. I think most people would agree. And I still support the Democrats' redistricting efforts to counter the fascist Republican efforts.
Yeah.
Right. And you can disagree with me on that. I'm not going to hate you for it. But but that's where the public is. The public sees the Republican fascism as being severe enough to where someone like me that doesn't want to even touch electoral politics anymore agrees with Democrats on an anti-democratic policy to fight the fascism. So she's bucking that publicly.
Always. And what they never say is what we need is to really develop our strong left flank, right? They never say that. They're never wanting to reach across the aisle to their actual base, actually, or all the independents, or most of the people in the country who, it's also stupid, but she's still doing that. So she's going to lose to Ramaswamy. Of course she is, right? And I don't even give a fuck, but how sad is it that that's where we are, that we are still doing this? That we're still doing
it couldn't, if you want to turn off your base, if you want to give your base the ick factor, say that.
Yeah. We need, exactly.
That's the ick factor.
Yeah. Sunny Legacy, great. That's a great thing for sure. And also, Mario Nawal is horrific Zionist stooge. Never. Okay, so I don't know enough about him. Today, he didn't totally betray that, but he felt like I hear you, and I just don't. I've seen people keep talking about him, and now everybody goes on his show. But
yeah, I don't know who that guy is at all at this point.
Always pushed up. I know.
I don't even know who that is.
I mean, he's just got a news show, but he's not a historian or anything. He's just some Brit who gets all the, ex-CIA people and media,
It sounds like clavicle or whatever that fucking stupid misogynist manosphere.
Yeah. I don't know. And maybe he does more than news, and maybe he does do influencing, but I've only seen him as a news guy. I have to look into him more before I guess
all I know is in the last year, people just blow up out of nowhere.
Well, that's what it feels.
They aren't even a thing, and then tomorrow they're a huge thing, and then all their views are terrible. Exactly. So how did they get so huge in 2 weeks?
Inorganic, right? It's
RT. Sorry, this inside joke, but so Clavicle he was on some show talking about how like giving a woman an orgasm is a bad return on investment.
Are you serious?
That's who this guy is. Yes.
What would be a good return on investment?
All right. Trump coins or something. I don't know.
They're all so gross. Okay. This though gives me hope. And because this is I think real people, this is down in Texas.
You're willing at this point to forego basically every conservative issue and let the Senate fall into the hands of Democrats if that's what it takes to kill data centers.
Yep. My entire community is going to break rank.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is Susan Collins or Janet Mills or Gretchen Whitmer? I mean, obviously Susan Collins is a fucking Republican, whatever. But the people who pretend to be the party of opposition, Janet, or what's her name? Gretchen Whitmer, breaking ground with people who are, going to destroy the jobs, the economy, the environment.
Yeah. No, these data centers are the most unpopular thing on earth. So if you want to know where your politician stands, just talk about data centers, because if they don't, they're telling you where they are. They're bought. If you support the data centers, you're absolutely never going to fight for anything for us on the left, or just your public. It doesn't matter. I saw the longer interview on that whole thing with the MS Now, and it's a huge humming fucking noise, obnoxious thing. And they're putting there's a zoo. They're proposing one right a block from the zoo, so all the animals and everybody has to. Nobody wants any of these fucking things. We want our internet to work as it is, and maybe we need to build a few more data centers, and that's just but you would think that technology would allow us to convert the ones we have to work better. Just if we're demanding more, processor speeds go up and server speed, everything gets better. So we don't necessarily need all this shit being built to maintain our current internet. So that's the myth, is that we need to somehow, if you support the internet as it exists, you're already supporting data centers. Well, we're supporting what we have built now. We're not supporting the future vision you have of us not having jobs and just bad.
I mean, it's going to be a huge bust. They know it because the compute is so expensive, and they only really want to put that money out for the big projects, the coding, the military, all of that. So it's actually not something that will be used in the way they were trying to push it, like for everybody to do, because it's too expensive and it makes tons of mistakes. And what are you going to do when we're all coming after you with pitchforks, right?
Yeah, and this I haven't really formed my thoughts on this, but my initial thoughts on this whole like Bernie proposal to partner with the government, and the public gets half the profits from the data centers. You know, first off, it's never going to pass, so it's just some lefty bullshit.
Right.
You know, I mean, good for him bringing it up, but also like at some point when the AI companies start agreeing to that, that tells you how much they're going to wreck our lives and how rich they're going to get, that they're willing to like, so they're going to partner with us and give some money back. But like, you know, like, why are they willing? Like, you're not going to do that unless you know you're an evil group doing evil shit and you're going to get filthy fucking rich and wreck a lot of people's lives. So we're going to give like, we're going to cut the profits with you guys so that you maybe you can get cheese on Sundays or something. Like,
it's so gross. And then the fact that Jacobin even published an article, even if it was an op-ed, one of the people, like it was
terrible leftist article.
That like, you know, like when Bernie was like, we need a moratorium on all these data centers till we can, you know, figure out what the hell is going on. What was the thing that the right said that about? We need to stop all this so we can figure out what the hell is going on. Whatever, who cares? It doesn't even matter. But like, yeah, we need to stop it. Like, look at this. What Gwen's saying. A cattle ranch was reporting they haven't had a live calf bird since an AI mass surveillance data center went live nearby. Like, they are like the fact that humming sound is out there. I mean, that like, what is that doing to the nervous center of any life that is around it? And the light, the noise, the pollution, all of it. Like, we're just destroying nature and the world for these fuckers to get more money. That we don't need any of this. Ugh.
And this is where it's such a universal issue. So if you're pretending to support anything on the right to get elected, like some of these people in some of these purple states, right? Don't stop pretending. Just support. Like, I'm against data centers. I'm for healthcare. Like this. Like, you don't have to be leftist at all. You just have to support what the people do.
Pat,
these people don't, like, in these red states, like, they don't care about the environment per se, but they know the goal of this thing is to take their jobs. Like, everybody gets what AI is about right now. So if you're for AI expansion into government on any level, you're an enemy of the people. And that's where I can agree with people on the right. I'm not going to invite you on the show.
But they agree with us. I mean, that's where they're like, oh, wow, you're like, that's where we find some comment. Like, they are willing to show up at town halls to shut that shit down, to vote for a woo-woo, a Democrat, whatever. Not that I care that it's a Democrat, but like, you know, it's all of those economic policies, plus war and genocide, that we find common ground with a lot of people. And that it brings them to our side. I'm not changing my ideology. Like, we're not becoming
exactly
supremacists.
Exactly. It reminds me of the people on the right, the MAGA folks that are like, oh, I was really, you know, terribly against gay people until I worked with a gay guy, or I was terribly against this policy that the Republicans pushed until it affected my family, and I learned from that experience.
Right.
And it's a lack of empathy. But like, the data centers are around MAGA right now, and MAGA around the data centers are like, fuck this shit.
Yep.
So we need to grab onto that fuck this shit and take them left with us a little bit.
And not like, oh, thanks, Kevin O'Leary, because that's how all these negotiations work, right? Like, no, it's not going to be universal health care. We're going to start, opening bid is public option. which sucks. And then it's like, but no, we're actually just going to do the Heritage Foundation and slap Obama on it. And then all the libs are going to love it. Like, no, you start with no data centers. We're done. We don't need them. Why do we need so many more than China? And China's already beat us at it. They beat us. We're done. They beat
the
us.
race to data centers is the race to unemploy us. That's the message to tell people. The race to data centers is the race to unemploy us.
Yep.
And we don't have any social programs to pivot gradually towards that process that's going to affect regular old hardworking Americans.
There is nothing. They have nothing. And so that ownership, and this is where Republicans do this, and so does whatever. I say Republicans. It's the right, it's the corporations, it's the capitalists, whatever. It's all the Democrats and Republicans, basically. But they starve the government or they encourage all of the corruption so that nobody trusts the government. So like when Bernie says something like, oh, we need government ownership of data centers, everybody's kind of like, or healthcare. Like, I don't know. I see what it's like at the DMV. Not great. I see what you all are doing with the insider trading and blah, blah, blah. But that's intentional because then it's like, you know what? Everyone just take care of yourself. Pull yourself up through your bootstrap. Get what you can get and get the fuck out. Sucks. Because, we
agree.
Should have ownership.
I'm not opposed to the idea of us as the public benefit. Like that's
I'm 100% for it. No, I'm just saying like
yes.
Start,
no. I'm just trying to say because I came out against it earlier in a way that I want to explain it.
I wasn't listening when you did that. Sorry.
Well, no.
Sorry, I didn't.
I was bringing it up to tell you where I think that's how scared these AI people are, and that's how much money and that they're going to get rich off of this shit, and that's how much control they're going to exert.
Yeah,
that they're willing. They would probably be willing to give up half of the profits from this thing. Right? Yeah, but half of the profits from this thing isn't going to keep us employed or have jobs. It's not going to give us health care. It's not going to. So even if we took half of the profits from all this shit, it's not enough.
It's not enough.
We have to, yes. So, but it's not an anti-government, like we can't do it in a way that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just that our system right now will like, even if that bill passed, it would get so eaten alive by these corrupt fucks in power that like 5% of the profit from that would actually get to us.
Right. Trickle down. It's finally going to trickle down. Because what they want, what Elon Musk really wants is to become the first trillionaire. So like these IPOs and whatever, and everybody's, like, it doesn't matter if you become a millionaire, but it costs $5 million to get a sandwich, then your $1 million doesn't matter. Like, so it's all relative. So if you're purchasing power in comparison to the people who own everything and who refuse to part with a penny, it doesn't matter. We can be like, oh, Pat, you made $1 million this year. You want half a cent? Like, you can't, like, it doesn't matter what the flat number is. It's all relative. So when you've got trillionaires out there who own all the politicians, who own all the media, who can suppress our voices, who can stamp out democracy, who can, write the bills that enslave us all, it doesn't matter if you're a millionaire, because now you need to be a trillionaire just to have a seat at the table. Thank you, Sunny. I'm going to look into this, but that is enough. Do you condemn Hamas? Fuck off for sure. Okay. Oh my God. It's already so late. We didn't even show half the stuff, but we should just show, because, listen, despise all these corporate Democrats, every part of my being, because what we really need is a party of opposition, because this is who's running the country.
Trump. Everywhere I go, they love Donald Trump. Down in Mexico.
All right, we showed that last week because he put it out last week. He put it out again today. It's an AI bullshit, Trump, right? This is him talking to Kristen Welker. He's such a baby.
Do you think it's appropriate that they have an election, and 5 days later, they're nowhere close to picking a
State
winner.
and local officials acknowledge they are slow. They're urging.
No, they're crooked.
They're urging the votes to be counted quickly. That's how they vote in
crooked,
California.
just like you're crooked. Your press is crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked.
To be fair, I'm not crooked, but let's
Really?
Let's
Well,
continue.
you play right into their hands. then.
Let's continue.
You're either crooked or you're stupid.
Let's
you play
continue.
right into their hands with this rap. You know that these elections are rigged. Your network knows that they're rigged. You know that I won an election in a landslide, and I got 94% bad press.
But Mr. President,
you know why I
you've
got
never
that?
presented
Because you have no
evidence.
credibility.
But you've never presented evidence that it was rigged. Let's keep talking about. I want to talk about Todd.
You
Blanche.
have more evidence. There's more evidence than ever presented.
Let's talk
Your
about
elections
you
in
went
this
to
country,
court.
we're like a third world country.
But, sir-
Your elections are crooked, and you're crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked,
Mr.
and so
President-
is ABC and CBS and CNN.
But, Mr.
You're
President-
one-sided crooked networks. All right, let's call it quits because I've had enough. Thank you, darling. Have a good time.
Mr. President, let's please. I traveled all the way to Wisconsin.
I've sat in the
traveled
rain with
all
you.
the- I know. I
I've sat in the
traveled
rain
all the
with
way
you
to
for an hour,
Wisconsin.
on and off in the rain, and I've given you enough time. You ought to straighten out your press because you know what?
Mr.
A
President,
country can never be
we
great
traveled
with a
all-
dishonest
Listen,
press.
we
Come on, let's
traveled
go.
all the way to Wisconsin for this interview.
To be fair, I'm not corrupt. That's her retort. To be fair? Wait. Oh, sir, you just called me stupid. To be fair?
Yeah. Why they never push back harder on this guy? Like you have like a whole 8 years of this fucker or whatever to draw from and have a riff ready to just make your whole career by insulting him. Like I would be queued up with like 10 quips back to this fucker.
Yep.
I don't know. And this is why they get away with it, because their media is going to portray this as a win for him that he stomped off.
Yep.
And they're going to bring up how many times she was full of shit for Hillary Clinton.
Yep.
Because she was caught on open mic feeding Hillary Clinton
Wait.
questions.
Sorry, but was that Kristen Welker? Are you sure?
Yes, it was. We
Okay,
talked
okay.
about this before.
Really? Did I do that? Sorry. I don't
You
want
called
to-
me out on that before, but
Really?
she one of the DNC conventions, and
Okay.
she's like in her mic with like, we're gonna ask you this in the second, just not a debate, but like
Yeah,
at a
but, like,
forum or
whatever.
something where
Gross.
she's
No,
like,
that's gross.
yeah. So anyway,
No, it's disgusting. And the libs are gonna love it because it's like, ooh, she's a journalist. She got him. Look what a baby he is. Right? Like
yeah.
all of it is just a show. It's just kayfabe. That's all it is. He darling.
Well, it is, and
like, whatever. Yeah.
Scott Bessant, right? Is that his name? Scott Bessant?
The
Treasury.
Yeah, Besson. Yeah.
Besson. So I was watching OAN today because I just fucking hate my life.
You must.
And
yeah. That's crazy.
but so he got shredded in front of Congress recently, right? Where they just cut him apart.
Yeah. He was like, no, we stole the money. We stole the oil. Yeah.
Oh my God. They all shredded him because he's a like openly, he's a monopoly man.
Yeah.
That's who he is. He's the guy with the monocle. Yeah. That's who he is, right? And so OAN was showing a highlight of him, and they presented it to their public as how much he owned the libs in Congress. Right.
Really?
And it's like 20 seconds, but like that's their whole narrative. And they talk about it for 20 minutes.
Yeah, but right. And so sorry, and I'm sorry to be like but they're bad people on both sides. But like libs will be like, Hillary was right about everything, right?
Yeah, well, it's the same.
Right? And it's like,
yes,
oh my God,
of course.
talk
It's the
about
same thing.
something real.
It's the same thing. It's like, but that's the point.
Yeah.
That's why we exist. And what we're trying to do is like the left and the right are both lying to their public and their base.
Yep.
They're manipulating this stuff. Truth doesn't matter because this whole event, if you looked at it objectively in Congress when they interviewed him, he looked like the corrupt piece of shit he is.
Of course.
The left people interviewing him are also corrupt.
Yep.
But this moment did not provide something to change the game because the right is putting their narrative out and the left is putting theirs.
Yep.
And none of it is the truth, like what is actually happening.
Totally agree. I think, so two things. They were in the barn I think because remember how he did like the whole McDonald's thing, and he's a worker and a trucker, and everybody is suffering right now, and he didn't deliver on his promise to fix Bidenomics, clearly. So that I think was supposed to feel like Wisconsin and farmers who are truly suffering. I don't know that the percentage of farmers who they can't even plant for the next season and going bankrupt, declaring bankruptcy. So that was part of it. Also, it was raining, so that's what they're using as an excuse. Then she's like, I traveled all the way to Wisconsin for you. Like, what? Oh my God. Like you've got colleagues, and I'm being generous by calling her a colleague, who are being slaughtered in Gaza and in Lebanon, and like never heard you talk about their plight, but you had to travel all the way to Wisconsin on a first class thing, whatever, and you're covered. It's not like it's raining on them, but
the rain thing,
she pushed back.
Annoying, because like that's just it's like a movie set. You don't need you could go in another room and do all this without the rain optics of the
tractor
around the rain.
Bale of hay. I need a bale of hay.
So you're supporting initially his whole presentation and what he wants.
Yep. Why don't you put him on a pile of money and dead Palestinian, Lebanese, and Iranian bodies? That's what you should do.
Yeah.
And instead, exactly, they gave him all his props, and he still, and also I watched it like 4 times. It sounds like he bangs his head. I'm sure it's just on the mic.
He did on the boom mic.
Yeah, but I wanted it to be like on a fucking hard edge of something, but I'm sure it's the fucking boom. But anyway,
I mean, in a perfect world, yes, he bleeds out from that, and then she does the same thing.
Oh yes, or she tries to help him, and then something.
Yeah.
I want to see that too. And also because you would have like people on Twitter are doing so much better journalism, just random accounts actually, where he's like, I never said that I was going to be an anti-war president. Or like, really? Here's 2 minutes of clips I just pulled. It took me 30 seconds. Why can't a journalist do that? Like, just say like, okay, wait, sorry. I just want to show you this. And the reason he got up, so sorry, just to follow up on that, was she kept pushing back on his claims that the election was stolen. Although what he does say is, and we talked about this on, what's today, Sunday, on Wednesday, but the fact that like it takes such a long time to tally votes in California, it does undermine democracy. Figure it out. Like, figure out how we get results on the night or the next day. So he was saying about that, because then it's like, well, look at all the late voters who show up. But a lot of people, myself included, I held on to my ballot. I sat there. I mean, Ron Placone was like writing me like, this is so depressing. I can't even fill out my ballot. You and I were talking about, like, we're all just looking at it like, these are our choices. I don't want to do any of this, but I sent it in just because, but I did it on the day. So that happened. And, the one thing that California, I think, does really well is we all get our mail-in ballots no matter what. You don't have to say, oh, I'm sick this year, I can't come, I'm out of town. No, it just comes no matter what. That's great. Yeah. But like, come on. Count the ballots. So that's where it started. And then she pushed on his claims. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, they get away with this because the system does seem clunky and awkward. And I don't know the solution though necessarily because I don't know the solution. I think maybe you get, okay, so the election was Tuesday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you just make a bigger public message that the mail-in ballots are due earlier, right? So the big problem in this system in California is that the mail-in ballots can be turned in at the last moment of the actual vote being cast, which then adds 3 days for shipping of the mail ballots and then the processing, right? So, but the rub is then now you're changing, now you have 2 voting dates. So it's like, I don't know what the perfect solution is. It is a suspicious process.
Yeah.
And it is suspicious that the way the media coverage.
Sorry.
But also it feels very centrist because the way they process the votes, it was only gaining like 1% tick all night,
Yeah.
and they pushed all these centrist guys as the winners early. So I get how you can dupe people to believe it's fake, and it might be largely fake. I don't know, honestly, but there are checks on it. It is one of the most regulated voting systems in California here.
I think the problem is that nobody believes that Democrats want democracy, right? Like, look what they did to Butch Ware.
Right.
They did to Bernie. Look what they engage in lawfare and try to take our voices away. So it's very easy to point and be like, when was the last true, like, capital D Democratic Party primary that was true, that was honest, right? So like that becomes a problem. And then everything, like, as soon as you're dishonest, it's over. Like, then they can pick at everything. And yeah, Greg Palast is great. And actually, I had dinner with his producer of the last film, who's also friends with Tina, all of our, mutuals, when they were just doing the documentary that they did in 2024. But yeah, that would be great. But like, it is, Democrats have really undermined democracy.
Yeah. And I think that the problem is the public trust depends on largely like, okay, the check on the right is the left, but I don't trust the left. So if I don't trust the left, the check in the electoral system of the local precinct people, right? So, but the precinct people, in some places they have video on the thing that gives me more, but like we saw Gore lose with video on the Chads, right? So the whole system is kind of broken. And
it's so broken.
But the one thing we all agree on, I think, is that left or right, they want to stop us. So the idea that we can trust our election system when both parties are mostly been about stopping us gets wonky.
It's
right?
really, yeah. It's not good. How are we feeling?
Ooh, it's 7. I told Lila like an hour and a half because my back was killing me, and then I'm like, no, the beers are working. We're good.
But
now
I'll do anything, but I just want to see, because we could
we should spin the wheel and then see where it goes. That's always my go-to.
That's yeah. Have another beer quick, and I'm gonna pour another glass of wine. Here we go.
I'm gonna grab it. I'm actually gonna go.
Okay, that feels like I keep looking at my glass and I think about, continuity in films where you're like, wait, the last time I saw her sitting at that table, Pat just left me. Her glass was empty, but every time we come back, it fills up. No, it's okay. But I just keep filling up. Also, you guys just got a huge close-up, because I didn't know you were gone, of my chipped tooth, which on Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. in LA will be fixed. It took a month and a half to get me in there. Wait, I just have to say, did Jen just show up? It's late. Hey, Jen. I love the East Coasters. I know Jen's East Coast or East Coast time. David is. I don't know. I'm not trying to out anybody or dox anybody, but I am so grateful to the East Coasters who are hanging out with us, because it's late. I'm feeling it because I'm on the East Coast now, East Coast time. Okay, we are Legoing it up. Let's see. We got shoot. I'm looking to see where we want to go. Let's do Pedodon. Citizen Mendejo. Sorry, I just gotta. Pat, don't hate me. I'm about to do something so.
What? Wait a minute. Look at.
No, don't. No,
Lila Cam.
No, I wanted this. I wanted that lovely comment from Citizen Mendejo. Thank you. And I've got the weird, because I don't have my real lighting or anything. Jen's been here all along. Thank you. Kimiko, look at you guys. I'm just going to keep putting Lila's right, Lila's gorgeous, and I will pay you all later. Thank you. Truth is also East Coast. Splash Gimber. Okay, I didn't realize this. I'm getting to know everybody. Look at you guys. Oh my God, I love it. I'm a New York gal originally. Oh my God, I didn't know it. Look at this. What?
All you New Yorkers. I love New York. the only thing I didn't like about, I've been in New York twice, and I'm like sort of claustrophobic, and so being in Manhattan in the big buildings, like the whole thing felt very claustrophobic to me.
It's like the
But I know that's a
inverse
small
of
part
vertigo,
of New York, you know.
right? It's like inverse of vertigo, where you're like, "Ah," you're looking up.
No, I was like, oh my God, can I get outside? And I was like, how long until I get outside? It was like 3 minutes to get me down the elevator and outside, but I needed to be outside a couple times.
I understand that. I like being street level. I really do. Mud of Genius, I know you've told us before, but I forget where you are. Again, I'm not trying to dox anybody, but that's like, it's kind of fun just to know. Okay, I know a few people here who are Greenpoint, now Williamsburg, Brooklyn, Miranda, UK, or maybe you're saying that. Okay. Okay, I love all of this. Oh, wait, sorry. Adria. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Jeff Bezos. Also in Seattle. That's hilarious.
Hey, and just so I'm not shitting on New York, just so you know, I love a lot of things about New York. I love the lifestyle of in the middle of the night going out, and there's an energy still alive. Like, you know, there's no like 12 o'clock, the city shuts down. It's like, no, you can go to that part of it. I loved. And then what was the other one I loved? There was something else. Oh, I love the aggressiveness, but it's just normal of like, you're the if you're the dick in line. Yeah, if you're the dick in line that's making me wait because you're asking about 27 things on the menu that we all see in front of us.
Yeah.
Everyone calls you out. They're not like, they don't hate you, but they're just going to let you know. And I need that here.
I love it too. I love it.
Yes.
Wally, I lived in Melrose, Massachusetts for the first 6 years of my life. Just saying. I have lots of family in Newton. Okay, yeah. So I just feel like, because it's not for any other reason, that I just think this is a fucking awesome
My
place.
mayor Muslim, my bagel's Jewish, my Christian Dior,
and then we take away the AI because fuck that. But yeah, I love that. My mayor Muslim, my bagel Jewish, my Christian Dior. All right, here we go. Hato Don Lego, did you fill her up?
Hey, Pedo Don, your empire is done. Pedo Don. You started the war, you thought you would win. Now look at the mess that your country is in. Look at it. Your general's crying, your plan was a bust. The promises made are now turning to dust. Marco Rubio was sweating, he's grilled on the floor. They asked for the billions you wasted on war. You lied from day one, you keep capping a lot. But look at the straight, yeah, we got it on lock. Locked down. You're begging for mercy, you're begging for peace, while telling your media Iran wants to cease. You sure? You're losing the straight, you're losing the state, and now the whole public is drowning in hate. You told, stop talking about Epstein. Now listen to the crowd. Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. Louder! Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. Don't stop talking about Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. Louder! Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. You lied about Iran, said Navy is gone. You promised regime change from darkness to dawn. You're dreaming, your beautiful B-2s were flying so high, still shaking inside. You're about to cry. You stood on the stage, looking completely detached, saying, I don't care about voters, it's cash. Did he really say that? Yeah, he did. You care about ballrooms, luxury suites, while American families starve on the streets. Inflation is peaking, the economy's dead, but you worry about Israel instead. The corruption is deep, AIPAC's buying the state. Every politician's got a price on their plate. You're all just puppets dancing for funds, while Iran is standing and holding the guns. You're losing the straight, you're losing the state, and now the whole public is drowning in hate. You told, stop talking about Epstein. Now listen to the crowd. Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. Louder! Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. Don't stop talking about Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. Louder! Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. You called yourself a king, but you're just a BJ queen. The biggest disaster the White House has seen. Your empire is done, 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 done. Pedal, done, 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 done. The war is
Pedo Don.
They're so good. I love that there's so many of our female friends are saying that the Iranian Legos are so handsome. It's so funny. Like they're like what is the Operation Defense? What's it? Strategic defense. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, okay. We have to show 3 shitty Zios before we show Albania, and then we can go.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Okay.
So this show was supposed to be an hour and a half, but thank you, alcohol. Anyone who hates beer, we would not have had a show if there wasn't enough beer to make my back pain go away. So once in a while, alcohol is a good thing.
Not once in a while, once a day at 5.
But these motherfuckers, let's call them out. Let's show them. We need to show them.
Oh my God. Crazy. And thank you. Yeah. Sacred defense. I don't know what I said, but thank you. Holy defense. I just really so appreciate it when you all help me with my brain. Okay. All right. So a couple things happened. This was the most egregious only because it was the most prominent. It was at the Tribeca Film Festival, where I just have to do a quick shout out for my film Conception that I produced and was one of the actors in that Josh wrote and directed years ago at Tribeca. Anyway, now we're going to flip to like the shitty Tribeca people. This is Lizzie Savetsky interviewing Elon Gold. It turns out you're going to see this horrific clip, but he paid her to be the person who interviewed him because nobody gives a fuck about him or wanted to interview him. I don't even know why they accepted this film there, but this is what he says on the red carpet at the Tribeca Film Festival.
Film Festival, which is a very prestigious
It's like a really big deal.
It's a really big deal, and for a film made in Israel, that's pretty damn cool. I was only raped by 2 Israeli dogs.
I thought they only rape Palestinians.
No, I got also a dog.
Hilarious. So funny. So funny. Oh, you're muted.
I watched her. Did you see her tweet about it?
No, I saw the Tribeca.
She put out a video response to like the backlash. And the nuts of it was that it's biologically impossible for a dog to rape a person.
Well, you know what that makes her? A Holocaust denier, because there were victims of Klaus Barbie who talked about being raped by dogs.
Yep. So that was where she went. And she said, oh, the New York Times are so Zionist because they promoted this article that pushed this dog raping narrative that could never happen. And why won't they talk to the rape victims, you New York Times? Because they're so skewed towards leftist Palestine.
It's so disgusting.
I wish her a drone of sorts.
That's the like most
could
gentle.
Could be Amazon. Could be.
Yeah. And also not only victims of the World War II Holocaust of Klaus Barbie, also victims of Pinochet of Chile, Pinochet's Chile, who there was a whole documentary on her. And God damn it. I just hate these people so much. And the fact that they even get to show up in public is insane. But it is what makes the moments where they are kicked out of the public, loving all of the hashtags, all the more satisfying.
Yeah, well, that clip will be her family's legacy in 20 years.
And his, who's that?
It may take 20 years, but like that's going to be the legacy of these people. Is like,
he's laughing.
I'm so embarrassed that my grandma did this thing.
Yeah,
it's not me.
And him. Sorry, but I just he's the one who was like, I got raped too.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
No, he's the comedian.
Yeah,
that's what she said. but she defended it all as like, hey, free speech and the arts are supposed to express themselves and comedy is supposed to express itself. And because of the lies that they put out there that are so ridiculous, us joking about those lies is the arts responding. And
yeah, you know what's so funny is that when there were lies that were so ridiculous, and Rafat Alarir said when they did the whole Sarah Snyder on CNN, repeated the Zaka lie and said, oh yeah, there were babies, beheaded babies and the babies in ovens. Yeah. He wrote, making fun of that, oh, did they use baking soda or like rising yeast? Because it was so absurd and wrong. And then Bari Weiss helped direct IDF precision target towards him, and he was killed for that. So if that's how we are going to greet people who poke fun at things that they think are lies, but he was actually poking fun of an actual lie, and that guy is making fun of something that is truth and documented. But like Rafat Alarir was murdered, and as was his whole family. So is that what she's advocating for? They're just
yes,
they're
is.
They're just liars. And if you say a stupid joke, you get to have an audience response because we all get free speech. God.
Yeah, she did the biggest apology. Strike doesn't like it. I don't know.
Good first strike.
Strike, fight back. All right, what do we got? What's left?
I know, but also I really want to hear about the cheeses. I love cheese. The stinkier, the better. And I've seen you talking about your new job, Adria. I'm so excited for you, but I didn't know that that's what it was, and I want to hear all about it. Okay. The other one was this is in Berlin, I think, and it was, I think, Israeli anti-Zionists being accosted by Zionists.
She is Jew. You tell her she is an anti-Semite and she is Jew. She is Jew. How?
Please go away.
Hey!
Nimm weg. Get away from here.
Eure Gesichter. Eure seines Gesichter. Ja, seines.
Der Typ kommt jetzt auf TikTok in voller Größe.
You are risking Jews. Get away from here. You are risking Jews.
Passiert dir was, dann nehme ich den Mund weg, dann passiert dir was, okay?
Willst du Juden schlagen? Willst du Juden schlagen? Juden! Ich bin Juden!
She is Jew!
Du machst mein Leben werden noch mehr Juden getötet. Merken wir uns! Viel Spaß, Besatzer! Aber das nicht, da merken wir uns, die Judenhasser!
So the family walking away are the Zionists who are threatening the woman who is in brown, who is an Israeli Jew, but who's anti-Zionist, who's protesting. This is one more really quick one. This is in Toronto at the United Jewish Appeal Walk with Israel, but it's in Toronto. And one of the parade members shouting out to the anti-Zionist protesters.
Fuck your sister. Nice pussy.
Thank you for saying that. Wow.
Oh, did you hear that?
I fucked your sister. Nice pussy. These people are so repellent. It's always rape, death. Like there's no conversation about anything that's actually happening. It goes right to Hamas would fucking kill you. They'd rape you and they'd cut your head off. Like, so Sonny, the second one that we showed was in Toronto. The one where he says, I fucked your sister, nice pussy, was the UJA walk with Israel in Toronto, The first one was in Berlin. And in Berlin, there was another one. It was just kind of hard to decipher because some of these get so chaotic, but where an Italian restaurant in Berlin kicked out Zionist Israeli Jews who were like shoving their Israeli flag in the face of the Palestinians who were walking. And finally, it was just like, just go, and kick them out, which is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that these people are in they're in a parade where they know a lot of these people don't agree with their thoughts, at least the protesters around them, and they can't control their raging core beliefs, which are that Palestinians are not equal to us, them.
Yep. Yeah.
Around kids, like just to say that shit around all these kids too, like
it's so gross. It's they're just they have so debased themselves, and we all know who they are.
And it's another one of these things where, like, yes, let's keep having these parades, because when there's 10 of you walking down the street and 10,000 people fucking protesting you, it shows where we are with this, and that we're getting closer to that every day. The support for Zionism doesn't exist. It's fabricated.
Yep. It's 100%. I mean, for a while, they used the Holocaust as a shield, as so many people have written about. Norm Finkelstein is, one of the most prominent, but it's so clear, and nobody's buying it anymore. And also, we now have, because of the internet, which is why I will never be fully against like social media, because it's educated so many of us. We have been able to see that Israel actually treated Holocaust survivors horrifically, did not want to welcome them into Israel because they wanted the Übermenschen. They adopted the Nazi ideology of like the strongest, fittest, and they looked at Holocaust survivors and Holocaust victims as weak. They were led off to the slaughter like lambs. And because they blamed them for being victims. It's a repulsive ideology on every level, and it's lethal. I mean, it's a genocidal ideology. And it is being exposed. Everybody knows that for sure. Yeah. Or not everybody, but like it's definitely permeated the whole, world.
Yeah, no, but it's the same as the public knows our healthcare system is fucked. The public knows AI is bad. The public knows data centers are bad. The public knows this is genocide.
Yeah.
And so all these issues, when we see as the public, no one on either side is like clearly on my side on this issue.
Yep.
Like that's how we grab these people and say, you can't fix this with your vote still, but that will not be enough.
Yeah.
Ever. We have to, they're locking us down now to where we have less power every day to fight this. So don't take 10 years to get on our side on this issue. You've got like 6 months. Come on over and let's fucking do something.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Okay. So this is the update on what's happening in Albania. And this is actually pretty cool. And we do have the power, but like we have to, as we always say, get out there and do it, because once those data centers, once the data centers are built, once our intelligence and our weapon systems are completely integrated with Palantir, which they already are, and the Israeli government, which is what's going through Congress right now, it's very difficult ever to extricate it out. So the fact that they are working so hard in Albania to get the Kushners and the Trumps and the Zionists out is huge, but we need to follow that lead.
Here in Yartas Fernetza, Albania, in this beautiful landscape, we've got bulldozer markings everywhere. Why? Well, these are markings from bulldozers that had come in the early planning of a Jared Kushner-backed multi-billion-dollar tourism development that is set to be built here. But the reason we're not seeing the bulldozers is because they've been withdrawn. And why have they been withdrawn? Well, because thousands of Albanians have taken to the streets over the past 6 consecutive nights in the capital Tirana to express their outrage at this project. Why? Well, they say that this natural landscape is preserved land and should not be built upon, and has natural wildlife like flamingos and sea turtles that need to be preserved here, that this project would damage. And these protests have become something of a revolution of sorts. They're calling it the Flamingo Revolution. There's now huge pressure on the Albanian Prime Minister Edi Rama. Whether it goes ahead, well, only time will tell.
Why is Pat trying to get me canceled with my husband and with the whole public? They got but they got those bulldozers removed. That's amazing.
They're winning. They're showing us the path. Like when I say we have 6 months, like we're gonna fail in 6 months probably, and we'll still keep fighting. But like the 6-month marker is the midterms, because our centrist normie friends are gonna think like Democrats took some power back, so we can relax now.
That, I mean, honestly,
that's the problem. And then if that 6 months goes into the next election and the Democrats win, all people economically doing okay are not going to be on our side anymore.
Yep, exactly.
Right. So this is the aggressive time. If you really see what's happening, we literally have like 6 months to do the bestest we can do.
I really feel like, I know we all take this so seriously, but that is true, because once something, which is why like the second Biden got in power, they were like, take away the OSHA regulations, take away the paid sick leave, kick those fuckers off of Medicaid, like done, get them off. Because once that's like permeates the people, they're never going to want to get rid of all the benefits, but whatever, all the benefits we gave them, fuck off, but whatever, because of COVID, right? Like they know that, but this will be so much harder to pull ourselves out of.
It will. And what the Democrats can do, in 2028 or whatever beyond that, is like, they can actually like give us one giant thing we want. And it would still be fucked. No, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're right.
I was making a different argument in that, like, they could, suddenly Democrats could actually give us universal health care or something.
Right.
But we're all fucking jobless and homeless.
Yeah. But
right. So that's the bigger project that benefits all the people. And that didn't actually cost the Democratic Party anything, because it just got them more into power for giving us that. But we're jobless and homeless.
I mean, the thing is like universal healthcare would actually save all the corporations money. That's the thing that is so like that actually crystallizes all of it. It would save them money, but they do not want to give it to us because they need to discipline labor. They do not want us to feel for a second that we should have anything or have any power. I was a mistake. Truth, it will never happen again.
But because that's our biggest fight, I feel like that might be the path in like 5 years or something. Is like we won the healthcare battle. We have healthcare.
Yeah.
But we don't have homes, or we're on the streets. We're like living in tents. Yep. We're like, yeah, we got healthcare, but nothing else because we have no jobs. So
if you wanted, you got half a data center from Kevin O'Leary and healthcare.
Yeah, and balance what I just said with the fact that we're not even going to get healthcare. So like fight
half a data center,
fight like it's your life on the line, because it is.
I mean, it truly is. Yeah, that's the whole deal. Also, Epoisse is my favorite cheese. I have to say, the best. All right, you guys, hang in with us till so late. It's 100 degrees up here, and the internet's so slow. So thank you for bearing with my shiny face and my slow internet and the weird stuff with no green screen for real. Let's hear it for Albania, and what they're calling it is the Flamingo Revolution. Protect our nature, our wildlife, our land, our people. I love you guys. Thank you. Keep punching up.
Finansite policisë.